Welcome back to another episode of The Other Team. Jacob Handy, Terrence Scott, Zachary Handy. Zach, with your new setup, I want you to introduce your new homies. Since you said you're going to bring new homies every week.
Yeah, I do got new homies every week.
And you're going to flip them and flop them out. Who did you bring with us to join the show today? I want to start doing this. I want to know who you brought with us.
I want to preface this by saying I messed this up. I let Brenda pick the Pops this week, and I picked them last week, not looking at the schedule and knowing the Lakers were going to win. So she did put Anthony Davis, new NBA champion, at the top up there. We also have Black Panther, the little baby one under him is right there. Shout out
Rest in peace.
Chadwick. We have a McLovin right next to him. Classic, absolutely great movie. Wonder Woman below that. Brenda said Girl Power. Would you put that one up?
She's first in the fantasy league. I get it.
And she is smart enough to understand that there'll be debates going on today, and she threw Jordan up there to kind of coincide with some of our first topics today. So Jordan at the bottom.
I think I have that same Jordan one.
You do. You do. You inspired us. I told her, I was like, damn, Terrence has this sick-ass Jordan one. And then we were at Target or something, or maybe at the comic book store, and we seen it. It wasn't too expensive. So she was like, yeah, let's grab it. Like, look, we need more sports pops. So shout out to the genius behind the scenes over there. Zach's little set producer. Threw him up there.
Dope. And then the whole Dodger gang ready to
literally,
rock.
I got everyone from Brian Wilson, like Fernando, Verdugo, Kenley. I got all sorts of people. Kenley still stinks, so he's still in the back.
I only heard one good person out of the whole names you named.
JT, Magic, Bellinger. We got some heat up here. Too. Got some bangers.
Okay.
Kirsch, chubby Kirsch too. He's like a little chubby version of Kirsch. He's back there.
Nice.
Chubby Kirsch probably be better than.
Got Yoda over there too. Nice. I just want you to introduce your gang every week. You know,
the whole gang's here today.
Your clique over there.
We got heat next week. I already know who I'm bringing out. A couple that I'm bringing out next week. Got some more bangers.
I ain't no bum bears.
I don't have any bears. Just Jay Cutler, but we hide him.
As always, this episode is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Come prop up with Thrive Fantasy. This week, we are part of the Thrive team. We have over 50,000 in prizes with games from NFL. No more NBA because the Lakers have won the championship. But we do have MLB playoffs kicking off and continuing to rock. Contests start on Thursday and go all the way throughout the week into Sunday. $15,000 games on Sunday, and then the personal favorite that Zach and I always talk about playing is the 7,500 touchdowns only. Who doesn't want to root for anything but touchdowns? So don't worry about the PPR stats or whatever it is. Who's getting in the end zone?
I'll put it to you this way.
The goal line?
If you're like us and you watch Red Zone on Sunday, you need to be playing this event because they just go together like peanut butter and jelly. So you just got to do it.
Really, truly.
All I want to say is – wait, no, finish. Keep going.
Enter the most important part. Enter our code, the other team.
I thought you already said it. Hurry up.
All one word, and you'll get they'll match up to a $50 deposit, minimum $20 deposit. So get in there, get some money, win more money. It's a great cycle to keep going. Come prop up with Thrive. Terrence, tell me what's on your mind.
Prop up with Thrive, man. Use the code. The other team.
You
like that segue? But I just want to say, Jake, I want you to dry your mic off. It sounded like you got some tears on there a little bit when you mentioned that Laker championship, so I'm sorry. Zach, get your Kleenex. I know you guys might be a little down about what just happened.
Wasn't happy about it.
Like it's a range of emotions. Like I need something to throw at the wall and break, and then Kleenex to kind of cry.
Are you really surprised that your team fell flat on its face, lit on fire, and watched their big brothers win?
Terrence,
in hindsight, no.
I've been living this life for over, almost 20 years now.
Exactly. So it's this was like me when I was 11 when I kept seeing my Kings lose. But it was like, man, I can't keep getting mad about shit I know that's going to happen.
It just never feels good.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. Man. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, man.
So
we gotta start liking some better teams on here. We say that too much on here, man. We got to start liking better teams as a collective group.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm an underdog guy. Damn it. Like, I miss March Madness so I could pick a 12 seed to fucking be in the Final Four. Man, let's do this.
I'm going to pose the finals question to you like this. What's your biggest takeaway from Lakers being bubble champs? What's your biggest takeaway from this finals and biggest takeaway from the Lakers conquering the bubble?
Biggest takeaway from the finals is, my God, Jimmy Butler, you're better than anybody ever thought you were.
Okay,
you are definitely a top 10 player. Like, that is my biggest takeaway from the finals. Like, wow, he played his ass off. On the Lakers side, the bubble championship, we went into this always saying it was going to be the weirdest championship no matter what, win or lose. Like, the Lakers deserve their championship. They deserve all their flowers, roses, whatever you want to give them. But it was always going to be a weird championship with not an asterisk, but just weird because of everything that transpired. So it is definitely the hardest championship to win. It's the weirdest championship to win, but at the end of the day, you're still a champion. So LeBron has 4 rings.
I went the whole way saying this is going to be the toughest championship, and I think that remained true. The psychological factors and, just everything that kind of went with it was wild to me, and the competition and everything. I think we got some of the most competitive basketball for most of this bubble that we've ever really seen for a while.
I think the scheduling was the hardest part because, you could see, it literally was killing some guys. Like, Jimmy had nothing left.
He was really in there for a minute.
The man had nothing left in his legs, and that's kind of what made the finals disappointing in a sense. For all the teams, you definitely started to, even the Lakers, LeBron was slowing down. Everybody was slowing down. These guys are human, and they needed to rest their bodies somewhat more than they were getting. So it just sucked, but it was still entertaining stuff and still a good
My
finals.
biggest takeaways were, one, I have been humbled for sure. If anybody's noticed, my trash talking has it's not stopped. It'll never stop. The motor mouth continues to run, but. This was such an optimistic year for people that wanted the Clippers to win. And, I feel like next year it's just we got enough to worry about in-house, right? I don't need to be worrying about that team or this team. I can analyze like we do on the show. We are sports junkies. We take it all in and we analyze the league. But as far as the slight jabs, I have been humbled, and you guys can all grin and laugh when I say it. I have been the basketball gods, the old gods and the new have humbled me. I got plenty to worry about in-house. Yeah. And my second biggest takeaway, I think Miami has now become for the next 3 to 5, I would say it is a premier spot with the young talent mixed with Jimmy Butler. And I don't think Spoelstra was ever disregarded as a bad coach. I think he's proved ever since LeBron left that he's a very good coach, a winner, continued to build.
Fell under the radar, though.
Yeah. Now he's out there in the forefront. Obviously, mafioso, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, Pat Riley ass, looking great. I think if you're a big name free agent.
You want to play for the Heat, do you?
You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there with
you to just come in shape and we win championships.
With red wine, just in a cigar in the same hand, just stirring the wine while he talks to you. You know what I mean? Exactly. I think Miami, for sure, if you're a big name free agent, it's got to be top 3 to 5 in the NBA to look at. So I think they've done a great job. We always talk, there really is no moral victories, but that's part of the moral victory that Heat just got is you just put your name on the map for people to come help you out, Jimmy Butler. So that was my biggest takeaways.
Yeah, I kind of am with Jake. I obviously have been humbled. I've been on here 2 episodes in a row kind of telling that to Laker fans. You guys made the run. You proved it. Definitely. I get that. I also think that's the beauty of what we do here is we can analyze, say, take a position, say who we think legitimately is going to win, and then be willing to eat our words if we lose. It's fine. That's part of what we do here. That's part of competition. That's part of sports. And it's also the same part of talking about sports. I guess I would say my biggest takeaway is it still amazes me how LeBron can make every role player around him play exponentially better than you would expect him to play probably anywhere else in the league. It's truly amazing to watch. He truly gets the most out of everyone around him. And even in year 15, it's nuts. It's really nuts. And I would say on the other side, the Heat are truly one of the, from top to bottom, best organizations. And this just proved it. I mean, drafting, you got Duncan and Hero and Nunn, pivotal parts of this team all the way to the end. Nunn was a no-show in the playoffs. They plugged him right back in the finals, and he was great. He really helped them out with Dragic going down. You put Kendrick Nunn back in, and he was so good. You also have guys off their bench now in the running that people want to see as the Clippers coach. So it's expanding there. And Pat Riley as a whole is now, like you said, made this such a free agent destination. I kind of just feel like this is shown, not to mention signing Jimmy last year and kind of starting it there. It just shows this Heat organization is really amongst the best in the league, definitely amongst the best in the West. And that kind of comes out when you go on a run like this, and you kind of gotta give it its props. And I was man, this organization is fantastic still. And Pat Riley is a genius. He's just so good at what he does.
To me, I think Giannis, it's either like the way Miami has set up, it's either going to be if Giannis does leave Milwaukee, in my opinion, he's either going to be looking at Miami or Golden State. Like, I really believe these organizations set themselves up to be able to land arguably one of the most generational talents here. And with the setup Miami has, and also with the setup Golden State has, it would be massive changes in the NBA if those either one of those franchises land him because they have shooters.
Here's a good question for you, Terrence. And I'm just playing devil's advocate before everybody jumps down my neck. Kevin Durant loses 3-1 lead, chokes it to the Warriors, and the very next year goes and joins the Warriors team for championships. Do you think there is a bit of that if Giannis were to join the team that kicked him out of the playoffs in the Miami Heat? Yes or no, and why?
Yes, but no, because nobody on that team in Miami has won anything. Like, the difference was KD had the Heat, who had already won 2 yet. Yeah, they had already won 2.
Or he had the Warriors.
At the time, did the Warriors already win 2 titles yet, or was that their first title and then they won their second that year?
That year they beat KD, I believe, was the second one.
Okay,
no, because they lost. They lost that year.
Lost
to LeBron.
3-1 to LeBron. That's why they called KD from the parking lot. That's the year. So they had 1-1. Then LeBron beats them in the 3-1 comeback, and they called.
And then
KD from the
gets
lot.
2 with them, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Way to talk that out, guys. Well done.
Okay. Regardless, it's different because the players in Miami haven't reached the mountaintop yet, so we're all still trying to obtain the same goal. It still sucks because you jump to another team, but obviously we're praising LeBron for winning 3 titles with 3 different teams, so we got to stop knocking guys for jumping teams. But the reason why KD gets knocked is because they had that team down 3-1. They had just won a championship, so these guys had already reached that mountaintop without you. Don't necessarily need you because they've already achieved this goal. Yes, who doesn't need Kevin Durant, a 6'11" generational scorer? Obviously, anybody can use him, but that's the difference is that those guys haven't reached that goal yet. Because if they would have beat the Lakers, let's say this year, and then Giannis comes up for free agency and he joins in, it's like, well, that's a little weird. That's completely similar to the KD situation. So,
I agree.
That's a good answer.
I think, and this is where I was about to go with it before you posed the question. I think the Heat honestly have the upper leg on the Warriors after this run because the Warriors still have that kind of like aura around them where if you're a superstar and you join them,
you're going
to get looked at and be knocked. And so Giannis knows that.
Especially Giannis.
Giannis is like a legacy guy. He's going to be chasing legacy his whole career. He's
brilliant.
Like a perennial, amazing guy. So for him to go there, like he's going to be thinking like, damn, like look how like KD's legacy is tainted forever. Like there's no way around it. KD is he's one of the greatest players of all time, but his legacy, which are 2 different things, we're gonna get into this later too. His legacy will be forever tainted for that move. We'll never look at him the same.
Tainted's a tough word, but I get what you're saying. Tainted, absolutely. I don't know if it's a word, but I get what you're saying.
There's a smudge on it. There's a smudge on it.
It's an asterisk.
Yeah, there's always that discussion.
It's foggy. There's always like a gray area in his shit. Like it always is going to be.
Well, because like KD
and if Giannis goes to Miami, I think he ultimately is putting that team offensively in a similar position with the shooters around him. You have another guy that can handle the ball off Rock and Jimmy.
I like that.
And a good you kind of have a similar look offensively and team wise going into it, and you don't get knocked legacy. So and you get to go play for like Pat Riley. It can almost even do better things. So I think Miami after this run kind of has the upper leg on someone like the Warriors for a perennial to go down the team, make a perennial all-star like that.
Before we get off this, because I was thinking about this the other day, if Milwaukee truly wants to keep Giannis, they need to do everything in their power to obtain either one of these 2 players. They need to try to figure out how to get Bradley Beal, or they need to figure out how to get who was the other player I had? It was Bradley Beal. Oh, God, I blanked on my other player. Oh, Victor Oladipo. I'm sorry, Victor Oladipo. It was Bradley Beal or Victor Oladipo. Either one of those players they need to figure out. Package Bledsoe, and honestly, you got to sell your future to try to keep this man in your building. You lose Giannis, your future's fucked anyways, so you need to figure out how to keep him. That's stuff they need to figure out how to get those 2.
And I think like to trickle down effect to get back on Golden State is like that's probably going to be the foreseeable look if you ever want to get a guy of that caliber again with this.
They're not going to get Giannis for that reason you said.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can kind of never get a guy of that caliber again after doing it with KD, which is fine. Like I'm not against it. You got 2 rings.
But they don't need him.
Right. Exactly.
But that's the thing. They also don't need
you. You don't need and you don't need him. And it's like it was worth it for KD because you got 2 rings out of it. But in that same breath, like you can never probably do that move again with this core because it's kind of tainted.
You
everyone's look on it.
You have to do it in a trade. You got
even then in a trade, it looks like the same because players force the trade nowadays. You know what I'm saying? AD got traded, but it's like
trade. What do you talk like?
Someone of that caliber does. Someone of that caliber does in a trade. Yes.
Not every trade. Like an organization can still just say, "Hey, I'm trading you, Zach." Like
what guy of that caliber just got traded? Tell me what guy of that caliber didn't force his way out in a trade? Because when you're that caliber,
Russell Westbrook.
Paul George forced his way out, and Russell Westbrook said, "Sorry, we need to move too." Like, yeah, he was down for that trade. It's not like it was against his will.
Show me the article in which Russell Westbrook forced a trade from OKC.
You don't think he wanted out after Paul George left? You think he wanted to rebuild?
That's not the same. That's not the same as that, Zach. That's not the same.
I'm just saying, like, no one's gonna trade a perennial all-star.
That's not the same as going public like
Tony Real, you too.
That's not the same as going public in the media and saying I want out. There is no evidence of that. You're speculating and putting shit in Russell Westbrook.
I'm literally connecting dots. Do you really think Russell Westbrook didn't want to go to Houston or didn't want to get out?
But that's not the same as forcing. Just because you want to go
grow up and put it together, dude.
Same.
Like what? Grow up and put it together. What are you talking about?
I know our levels are high as hell right now.
That is such speculation and dangerous talk, Zach. That's very dangerous talk. Like, an organization can choose to make a move somewhere with or without you. And we've been talking about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
Funny as hell.
That's just crazy speculation to me.
I don't think that's speculation at all to say.
Russell Westbrook
wanted out. That's so dangerous. Russell Westbrook was in after he had just got his core taken down for the second time, and he's nearing after 30. And it's crazy speculative for me to say he wanted out to go to a contender.
That's not the same as forcing your way to. That's not the same as forcing your way to a team, dude. That's not the same thing. And you can't just start knocking players for that.
Because Sam Presti did it like with the very next stroke of his pen. Like he did it so fast. You didn't even give Westbrook a time to say he wanted out.
Do you knock players?
For forcing out?
Like, hell no, shut up. Let me finish my point. For like, this guy's tripping, chill, kiss. But do you knock players like, let's say a superstar wants to join the Clippers. Will you knock that superstar for trying to create a big three and joining Kawhi because Kawhi has already won a championship and whatnot? Are we going to look at it that way?
I don't think so because I think it goes back to like the mountaintop thing. Like this franchise – no group ever for the Clippers has kind of reached that mountaintop, and they're looked at as the years go on as like a curse, as like something that's truly.
Would we knock Giannis if he went to the Clippers?
I don't think so. I don't even think I'd knock him if he went to the Lakers.
Man, you tripping? With LeBron and AD here,
they just
won. Bro, they just hit the mountaintop. What the fuck?
I don't know.
That's KD shit.
They didn't beat him though. Like that sounds like they didn't beat him.
But you're tripping, bro. What? You're wild tripping. That's two first.
I probably would be that. I hate the Lakers. I probably would be that.
Connect these dots that you literally just said in back-to-back breaths.
All right.
No, I can't knock Giannis for going to the Clippers because they haven't reached the mountaintop. I wouldn't even knock him for going to the Lakers who just reached the mountaintop.
Because I feel like, I guess you're right. Like, LeBron's not on his way out. Because that's what I was saying. Like, because I'm thinking
to make sure they heard that right.
I'm thinking of it like this. Like, they're like essentially setting up like another duo if they were to get him. But LeBron's probably not on his way out. I just saw him go maniac. So, like, yeah, I would probably knock him. But, like, my initial thought was that, like, yeah, it's a big three, but, like, LeBron's probably on his way out, but he's probably not. He looks fantastic. So, yeah.
One hockey reference of the day, Zach's getting sent to the box.
Oh, God, Zach's before Zach steps on his own tongue again, let's transfer into LeBron's legacy.
What's stupid?
I can't believe what he just said. I can't believe it.
Oh, that dude is hilarious for that, man. Damn, that's funny.
LeBron. We have to discuss it every time, and I know after the tragedy that happened, we were discussing on the show. Like we don't like to discuss. Yes, the tragedy that happened in March. We don't like to discuss too much about legacies anymore. We want to talk more. Kobe Bryant's death in March.
That wasn't in March.
That was in February. So thank you.
Oh, I thought it was like March 3rd.
I thought that was in January.
But it wasn't March.
We discussed how kind of we just like to appreciate it. And we hate trying to pin all these basketball greats against each other. But we know
I'm done comparing goats.
Right. We always talk about it every time LeBron once again goes to the finals and once again competes for a championship. And now for the fourth time has won the championship. And for the fourth time has been finals MVP. What does this mean? Is it I mean, I've been on record saying I don't think he could ever, get to Jordan's level of greatness, but I mean, he keeps finding ways to do it. Do we really expect him not to?
Who wants to go? Who's going first? Are you going? He's fantastic.
I don't even know. I'm going to ramble. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to go with this. Somebody else go first.
I'm going to go with this. I don't want to compare GOATs because they're all fantastic in their own right. But if we have to rank it, I'm still going to go with the legacy of Michael Jordan just because his mystique is kind of unobtainable for just the time he played, the era he played. The 90s was just different. He made basketball global. People are still wearing his shoes today. I got his shoes literally on my feet right now. It's just he's going to be great for things that don't always have to do with basketball. And it's LeBron said it himself. He's chasing a ghost. And it's just unfortunate. And this is 6 for 6 in the finals and all that. Like, you can bring up all the Nick Wright stats about how Jordan wasn't XYZ before he actually reached the mountaintop. But once he did reach that mountaintop, it was no getting him off of that. So that's one thing people need to understand is that, yeah, LeBron has went 10 times, but he's reached the mountaintop, but he's got knocked off of it. When Jordan reached, there was no knocking him off once he was at the top of that mountaintop until he decided to retire and hang it up. So that is the one difference in that sense, but I ain't comparing any of these guys. LeBron is spectacular. Year 17, this man still doesn't age. Like, we need to test this man. What is going on here? Man, LeBron's so good. AD
baby's blood.
Dude, like, I don't get it. Like, AD played his ass off too, though. But
it is tough when we get into these debates and stuff because it's like when you take the position of one guy, right, it makes you feel or makes you look like you think the other guy's like weak or overrated or not good or something. Like,
He should have took that shot.
Yeah, I don't want to. No, he shouldn't have. By the way,
hell no, he shouldn't have took that shit. That was a fantastic pass. Make that shot, Danny.
And it was like triple. I could get it. Like,
I'm not mad if he would have took the shot, though, but the right pass. That's
quick tangent on the shot. If he had like a guy on the block and he was gonna like turn around fadeaway jumper, you could shoot through 2 guys, maybe even 3 guys like that, barreling down the lane and everyone closes on you. You're not getting that shot up. Like, that shot's not.
I'm okay with LeBron James shooting whatever the fuck he wants. So he
just
could go
like
1-on-4.
In the logical sense of it, though, like.
I don't know, like, we grew up in the era of Kobe, who was like, bro, I'm better than every guy on the floor. So
Kobe wasn't going shoulder down like that. Kobe was lining you up for a jumper.
I'm just saying, like, if LeBron did go up with that shot, I wouldn't have been mad at it. But he made the right pass, the right choice, and everything. Danny just is ass for
wide open look, too.
Like,
wide open look.
It's crazy.
Danny was more sad he passed it to him. Like, damn it, take it, please. Shoot it on 4 people.
The second it left Danny's hands, we all were like, what the fuck is that? Like, we all knew that shit wasn't going in.
Dude, Danny tried to steer that. He didn't even shoot that. He did not shoot that with any confidence.
Go back to like the discussion. It makes you. I don't think I've been in the LeBron camp for a long time to tell you he's I feel like I've felt it for a long time that he's the greatest of all time.
Greatest player ever. Jordan's legacy is the best.
I don't know that. I think you can make a really good case for LeBron's legacy.
You can make a really good case of Bill Russell.
Zach, let me hear what you have to say.
Keep going.
I just think this, like, first and foremost, I think LeBron's had to hold his 6 losses is like erroneous to me against him because he's easily had the toughest finals opponents of all time. You can hold 1 finals loss against him, and it's the one to Dirk and the Mavs. Dirk's an all-time player. Love it. And that's probably an underrated team in the basketball history.
You can't hold that against him?
Baby Braun getting swept to the Spurs franchise.
Oh, the Spurs.
To the Spurs. I'm like,
Kobe got swept.
And his best players next to him were Big Z, Booby, and Pavlovich. Like, come on.
I thought that was a gentleman's sweep. I could be wrong, though.
The Pistons was gentleman's sweep, 4-1. But as I'm saying, you can only hold really 1 finals loss against him. Like, he had the great team. They definitely were better than that Mavericks team. You can't lose that series. I get that. Outside of that, he's losing to the Spurs dynasty and the Warriors dynasty. Like, cut me a break. The Warriors literally changed the game forever. You know what I'm saying? And he had to go up against them every year. They had to bring in KD to beat him because he willed his team back from nothing to beat them.
Who did he lose to when he was on the Heat?
The Mavericks. That was the Mavericks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the only one you can hold against him because then he goes and beats the Spurs. And he lost to the Spurs again on the Heat as well. He went 2-2 in 4 finals appearances. With the Heat. Lost to the Spurs.
I thought he lost 2 finals with the Heat.
He lost to Dallas, back-to-back championships, lost to San Antonio.
And then he leaves. But I just think he's a absolute genius, too, in this aspect. He goes building his legacy, he becomes the guy on the map that is exceeding the most erroneous expectations you could ever imagine a high school basketball player having, and he meets them, which is nuts, right? But
fantastic. Never let anyone down.
There's one large group of people his whole career that will not give him roses, that will not give him his legacy, that will not give him his respect. And it's the Laker group, it's the Laker media, it's the Laker fans, right? His whole career, they're knocking him because it's end of Kobe's reign. He's kind of taken over Kobe's reign. He's moving in as the new guy. Kobe's on his way out. They never get that matchup. It's always it. How in the hell am I going to how the hell can I make my legacy better? How the hell am I going to get these group of people?
With the Lakers.
How the hell am I going to get these group of people to change my legacy for me? I can't change it myself. I've done everything I can do to change it, to make this legacy what it is. How the hell am I going to get them? Oh my God. I'm going to go there and in 2 years, I'm going to win the NBA championship. And then literally they're all going to tell me I'm the greatest of all time. And he does it. It took 2 years. He came to town and people were painting on his mural because they felt he didn't deserve to be there.
They held a protest that Jimmy Buss was out of pocket for getting them and said that all needs to get blown up. They literally that was last year. That was in 2019.
He came. They missed the playoffs. This was his first. Next year, they go to the playoffs and win the championship. In 2 years, he took those people and have them singing that he's the GOAT. He's as good or better than Kobe Bryant will ever be. Look at him. He's got. They're saying everything we've been saying. He's doing it for 15, 16.
It was a chess move to come to LA.
All that's it's an absolute chess move. Like without knowing that you can pull that off, that's insane to me. Because if he doesn't pull this off, he'll never get those roses. He'll never get that legacy. And it's a stroke of genius to know that you can come. And in only 2 years, he did it. He didn't even need the whole contract. In 2 years, they're all praising his name.
And Anthony Davis has a lot to do with it.
Stroke of genius. But that's fine. He needed something. I can't blame him for coming over here and not doing it with a bunch of scuds.
No, it's
not really a knock, but he really needed AD.
Shout out Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka deserves a lot of credit as well for this. He put together
Jordan needed Pippen. He needed Rodman.
We were talking for the show. I want to say this too, Zach. I agree. I can't stand when I hear somebody say LeBron's 6 finals losses is something bad. It doesn't make sense.
They're not something good though.
Okay, but I'm going to work.
Hold on, Jake. You're going to have to go back.
Or missed playoff years? Are you telling me his legacy
You got to
is
rewind
better?
what you said.
Yeah, say it again. Say it again, Jake.
If the 6 years LeBron James lost in the finals, if those were all first-round exits or missed playoff years, are you telling me his legacy is better?
If they were missed playoff years, hell no, Jake. That's an obvious.
But losing before the finals, then?
Okay,
first,
so then
any of them.
Before Scottie Pippen even joins Michael Jordan, well, Zach just answered me. Before Scottie Pippen even joins Michael Jordan, he couldn't even finish above 500 in the fucking East.
To answer your question,
we gotta knock this man for that. It doesn't make sense to me.
To answer your question, no, losing in the first round is not better than losing in the finals. Of course not. That makes
is losing
sense.
At any point in the playoffs before the finals better for your legacy? Then why do we knock him so much for losing in the finals?
Because we always talk about guys finishing the job. Obviously, at the end of the day, you didn't finish the job. That's all we're knocking is that you got there 6 times. You got there 10 times, and you was only able to finish 4.
But I think that's amazing to get there 10 times.
No, it's
no one gets there.
Shit, can I finish our point? Yes, it's amazing he got there 10 times. We're not – dude, it's undebatable. The fact that you could take 10 franchises to the NBA championship alone does not even need to be argued. The fact that you couldn't close in all of those times is what people are knocking you for. But the fact that you could take franchises that had, honestly, no business ever being in those positions is fantastic.
I don't think you should get knocked for not closing it, though, right?
No.
You do?
Why not? You got to get knocked for something. Like, this is still still a judgment game. Like, at the end of the day, we're knocking Jordan for losing in those early rounds, just like Jake said.
We're not.
I feel like we're not, really. That's what I'm saying. I feel like he gets a pass on
Jordan for it.
Well, you just mentioned it.
But we don't ever knock him. Like, when we talk about Jordan's legacy,
I don't know about we.
The
NBA community.
The community. Yeah. All we say is.
But it's a lot of dumb people in the world that don't know anything about stats, though. But that's because most people don't have any context to anything.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know anything outside of what's right in front of them. They only know Jordan went 6 for 6. They don't know understand any of that other shit. So I understand that. But at the end of the day, no, we're never going to praise somebody who lost in the first round over somebody losing in the finals. That's just stupid.
I feel like some people like to sometimes.
I don't know. To me, what makes Jordan's legacy so impactful is the 6 for 6. The fact that every time he reached it, he closed. Yes, you reached it 10 times. So did Bill Russell. But we're not praising Bill Russell for making it so much either. Why is that? Because we're going to start nitpicking and saying, well, they're error and shit. Well, here's the little bit of the nitpick for LeBron. Well, you didn't close all of the times.
I don't know.
We're going to nitpick Jordan. That. We're nitpicking Jordan's, and when you say about the competition he played.
I feel like we don't nitpick.
A lot of people nitpick Jordan's competition. Everybody nitpicks his competition. Yeah. The people he played. They say all the time he played against plumbers and all this other shit. So guys knock Jordan's competition all the time. So let's not say that. Yeah. The NBA community knocks his competition all the time. So
I don't know. I feel like to knock LeBron for not closing, when you look at who he has to close against, given some of his teams, like that's a tough knock to me. That's a tough knock.
It is a tough knock. Like I said, this is why I don't want to compare guys.
Yeah.
You're fantastic, LeBron, in your own right. Like, in your own right, you are a fantastic GOAT. Just respect them for what they are. Appreciate guys for what they are. But if we're getting to the nitty-gritty nitpicking, this is just the shit that I'm going to nitpick personally.
Right.
Can we even fathom LeBron slowing down in year 18 next year? Like, I don't even know I don't even know how I could think it's possible for him to slow down. Like, I don't even know what to think. Are we expecting 27, 8, and 9 again?
Shit. It's the type Are we expecting Tom Brady to slow down? Like, do any of the GOATs ever really slow down anymore? It's getting weird.
Like,
I don't know. I was telling a friend earlier in the week, it's the type of thing where, like, I'm done saying, like, we might see the slowdown this year. I'm done saying it. Once I see the slowdown and I recognizably see it, then I'll be like, okay, he's slowing down. But until then,
I saw it a little bit, but I guess not. But also, we could be a little spun with the playing devil's advocate. Yeah. And I'm not a LeBron hater. That's my guy. But just playing devil's advocate on the age part is obviously the break could have helped him. It also could have hurt him. It kind of did hurt him in the beginning because he had to shake off the rust, but it also helped him in the sense of being able to rest his body. So that could have helped him of not looking old and so forth, but that's also playing devil's advocate.
I'll say this as well.
Just throwing something against the wall, seeing if it sticks. But
he probably that's probably the most I've ever seen LeBron got to sit on a bench in a finals I've ever seen in his career. So I think also, like, just the ability to have Anthony Davis to where you can anchor kind of a team for bigger stretches than he probably ever could have before. I feel like with the Kyrie teams, he was playing literally every minute of almost every game in those finals, given the finals opponent was much tougher as well. You know, going up against the Warriors is a lot different than going up against the Heat. So I feel like that
even a healthy Heat team, I feel like this would have been LeBron's easiest opponent.
Yeah. And that's like, I'm not even trying to knock the Heat.
It's no knocking. You play who's in front of you.
Exactly.
There's no knocking.
So I think that also helped too, is that, like, he didn't, because I was telling this to a friend, like, this is what's also amazing about LeBron's legacy. Like, we saw Jimmy Butler try to do what LeBron does for essentially every playoffs for a decade for one series, which is played basically every second of the game. And by game 5, he was literally whooped. Like, he was gassed, nothing left in the tank almost. LeBron literally has done that 10 years, every playoff series
levels.
Into the finals. Like, that's absolutely mind-boggling. LeBron is in year 17 going up against guys in their physical peak. This is probably Jimmy Butler's best shape he's ever been in. Probably his physical peak as an athlete or close to it. And he's in year 17 and he's like, haha, young buck, I'm doing this. I do this. I will play. Like, run it. Do this. Like, what? When he was on the Cavs, LeBron was in year 13, 14, 15. Like, doing this, playing every second of a playoff series, first round, second round, third round, finals. Like, that's
all
insane.
The playoff mileage he has, dude.
That's really what I'm saying.
Year 22 with all
that's it. That's mind-boggling to me against guys that are in their physical primes, young guys in their 20s, early 30s, and he's really just playing every second of every game at the highest level. Like, that only adds to me the legacy of LeBron. Like, it's unfathomable the level he can consistently get to.
His longevity and, like, consistency is definitely his strongest argument to his GOAT case. Is the fact, like, screw the 10 years and stuff. Well, that's all a part of the consistency. But, like, man, dude, the fact that you can keep this high level of play from year 1, because let's not forget, he ain't had no down year rookie year. Rookie year was a fantastic year, bro. Hit the seed as a superstar. Like, it was year 1 was like, yeah, okay, well, that kid in Cleveland's a superstar. And then it's ever since then, he has just been fantastic. So from year 1 to 17, going on to 18 has been
no misty off years.
So it's like, it's crazy. Like, bro, don't get hurt. He don't have no down years. It's just consistency.
All right.
He's going to have damn near every number, like, by the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The way too early look into next year, the NBA hasn't set a date on when next year's season will start. Silver just said, I believe it's sometime in January.
Yeah, those dudes a year off.
So quick,
We had a lot of hoops.
turnaround. Very quick turnaround. Absolutely not a year off. I can't live without basketball for a year.
Give me hoops back the time it's supposed to be next year. Get these cats a break.
We're going to get – so Lakers are favorites off rip. Clippers right behind them. And then I believe it is Bucks, maybe Heat in there. I didn't really look at the rest.
So when's the season starting?
There is no official date yet. They just said –
They're speculating January.
January is when it's speculating that it was. So it's a quick turnaround.
That's so stupid.
Give me your outlook for next year. Lakers, should they be favorites? Is the turnaround too quick? Does it do them good? Does it bad? I agree that the Clippers should still be a top 3 favorite. I think the roster is still, one of the better rosters, getting a new coach. Obviously, teams are going to make moves. We'll see what happens. Way too early look into next year. Who are your favorites, usual suspects? Anybody new going to climb the ranks?
I guess, obviously you got to throw Brooklyn in there, right? Like, they're going to get KD and Kyrie, so I think they deserve to be looked at as a perennial team. And the Warriors getting healthy again too. I think the Mavericks too are someone to look at coming into next year with the experience they got in that first round, really going punch for punch with the Clippers.
But Dan Porzingis get hurt.
Yeah, but he
quick turnaround might hurt them.
Yeah, well, he had successful
it was just a meniscus. It wasn't like a year-ending injury, so he should be 100% by the time the season starts again.
And I think the quick exit honestly helps them in that aspect as well. Yeah. But I think there's someone to look at. I just love this because you got.
What about the Knicks?
No.
Nah.
This is one of my favorite things is like you got, you look at some of these top rosters as in like, just for Lakers and Clippers, and you got to think like there are a few guys that are untouchable, right? Like you got to think the big two in LeBron and AD. And I think KCP definitely earned his worth. And I believe he would probably be on the untouchable list this offseason. I would hope that the Lakers would think that.
Caruso's untouchable. That's which is funny. They're not going to move him.
But to me, there's 4 guys on the Lakers that that they should say are untouchable and want as their core next year. Obviously the big 2, and then Rondo and KCP, I think definitely earned their worth and are valuable kind of skill sets that go very comparable with what they had out there. So I think those 4 should obviously not be touched. But outside of that, like you could have a lot different Laker roster.
I don't know if anybody really would want Rondo outside of the Clippers.
Yeah. Right, and I don't think the Lakers have any intention of moving him. You just see how great he was for them in the playoffs. He was so big, and that's the type of guy I think LeBron wants next to him running.
But Rondo has to be on the right team. As great as Rondo is, he has to be on the right team to where he's dialed in and wants to do everything that he can do. So you've seen him in New Orleans, like he wasn't playing like that. But when you put him on the Lakers in a situation to where he can dial in, he's fantastic.
He wasn't playing like that on the Mavs either until the playoffs, and then he low-key came out of his shell again. Same with the Pelicans. He wasn't playing like that, and then in the playoff series, he played really well. Via trade or free agency and type stuff, like that roster can look really different. I'm really interested to see what LeBron and all them kind of want to put together going in for the rerun back. And I think the Clipper roster has a possibility for a major overturn. To me, I don't think Paul George is touchable, but some people do. So I would say the big 2 again, untouchable, and then Ivica Zubac, untouchable. And outside of that, you could have a completely new roster as well. Sign trades, free agencies, the whole 9. So I'm really interested just to see where those rosters kind of go, because there's possibility for kind of major overturn in both cases, in my opinion.
I think Zubac is in the middle. I don't know if he's untouchable, but I think he's.
I feel like he's very pricey though.
If they can land another all-star, they would definitely move Zubac.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with Zubac, what makes me feel like he's untouchable, he's literally the only big on the roster. So unless you're getting another big,
he's like what? 22,
unless you're getting
23?
another big back, I don't know. In such a thin position in the league, I don't know how you would expect.
You'd be looking to get an all-star big though.
Yeah. Right. Like you have to put him in a move for like JoJo, like whatever, if they split that whole thing up, which they're not doing because they just got Zubac.
Doc would definitely give you the finger to think he's going to see you JoJo.
Yeah.
It ain't Doc's call.
True.
They ain't doing that.
But I
also think Zubac.
Old
boy's a gift. Come on, bud.
I also think Zubac's untouchable for this reason right here. Yeah, for this reason right here, like the biggest reason probably Doc got fired is that he chose Harrell over Zubac in all those situations. So, like, if
True.
we're firing Doc for that and we think Zubac is so valuable and we want him in those situations, like, now we have to pull Zubac's card this year. We have to develop him, we have to use him, and we have to really give him that opportunity. I don't think he's touchable. And a young, skilled big, like, you're not trading that in my eyes.
Let's
like Sam
just
said, unless it's
say-
an all-star. So, outside of that, like I said, a lot of roster overturn could happen. Really, really interested to see where those
I'll
rosters
throw
go.
some names out for you. Just yes or no if you move Zoop for him.
Okay.
Vucevic.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, I wouldn't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really? I don't think so.
1,000% I'll move Zoop him.
No.
for
Most underrated
Vucevic.
big in the entire game. That
20
underrated
and 10.
five. That underrated five I always talk that starts Drew Holiday, Zach. That's the center on that team.
I'm not saying
Facts.
it's because Vucevic isn't a good player, but I have a young, skilled big, and like Vucevic is probably gearing towards the back nine of his
You
career.
keep talking about this 2-year window. You guys screw his
It's
age.
now-
You need to
Fair
win.
enough.
This
Fair enough.
year is the biggest year in Clipper history.
Okay. Another name is Rudy Gobert.
No,
No.
he's overrated.
He wouldn't help this team, even though he'd be the rim protector, but you couldn't score. What was the last name I have?
I would
for you?
like Gobert more than Vucevic, to be honest, but no.
Absolutely
'cause
not.
He's a little younger.
Absolutely not.
At least I feel like he's a little younger.
Just not
And
getting
then
Kawhi's
Whiteside.
No.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. Hell no.
That guy doesn't even care about basketball.
Whiteside is starter on most overrated in the NBA. He's the starting center on that team.
For sure. You know, also be a good big for you guys. Backup would be Derek Favors. Should tap
Yeah,
into
I'm not
Derek
opposed to
Favors.
that, but he's always banged up. That scares me to get him.
Yeah, just get him for the playoffs.
Feel that. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm looking forward going into next year.
I think you nailed it with Dallas, Zach. I think they're like the hottest team on the rise. Eastern Conference, I don't really know. I mean, I think obviously Miami's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
If Giannis stays, you got Milwaukee looking good. And then outside of them, I mean, Boston, and then I love Toronto, but it's like you got to find a way
Boston
to
probably
really,
has the best future.
you gotta, yeah. I think we love Boston. Your two best players are under 25 still.
They
With
might have to
Toronto,
max
like,
Fred
yes,
out too. That's crazy.
The coach is great, and you got a good thing going, but you got to find a way to get like a guy. You got to get a guy.
Got to find
you know?
another Kawhi.
And it's like you want it to be Pascal, but I think we all realized, the B button is worn out. The spin button, it's done. It's you can't use it anymore.
He's gonna come out with a pro hop now.
He got to get new sticks. He used the spin button so much. So I don't think it's Pascal as much as you want it to be Pascal. They're missing something. They're missing the guy. So they are good, but I think your real competitors in the East, at least in the way too early preview, are going to be Milwaukee, Miami, Boston. Those
I'm
are
gonna
your
go-
to look out for. I don't know if I'm believing in Philly.
I wouldn't
much
jump
anymore.
off
I know
Toronto
Doc's
yet.
there. I don't know if I am, but you could tell they need something there. You know what I mean? You could tell they need something.
They definitely need something there, and they gotta max out Fred most likely because he's a free agent. So that might get weird, but they definitely need something. But they could either package a second option or a first option to go with Pascal because they're such a team-oriented team. They don't necessarily need a ball-dominant superstar.
Right.
So if they did get maybe that would suck though because you got two second options and a third option because that's what I would consider Lowry. So that is gonna be hard to win with, but that might be what Toronto have to roll with.
I'm gonna be crazy and just tell you, like, I'm not big on Bucks with Giannis, even if Giannis comes back, like going into next year. I
mean,
left
they win,
the
Zach,
They land
bubble.
Bradley Bill.
Right. I guess that would definitely change my mind a little. But I left this whole bubble situation, which is like a yucky feeling about Giannis. Like I'm not
Giannis is
big
probably
on him after
working
this.
right now.
And like, good. I hope he is. I really do.
Jumpers.
I just like I'm
The hell
not
with
sure
jumpers.
he's the guy to lead someone to that mountaintop like that. Like I'm starting to get the feeling he's edging towards he needs a guy. He might be a B. He might be the best B we've ever
Oh,
seen.
we always knock guys, but LeBron always can have somebody, but we don't ever say he needs a guy. He clearly needed a guy in LA.
Yeah,
Everybody needs a guy.
I'm not, but I'm
Everybody
saying
needs a
like
guy.
I'm saying Giannis needs an A. I'm saying Giannis is like the B. LeBron needs a guy, but he's always the A. LeBron is the the number one
I don't know
best
about
guy.
that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we can say
I
that
just
yet
saw
because like
it in that
Giannis has
playoff run.
taken his team deep each time. So it's like early in LeBron's career, even when he was taking his teams deep, we weren't saying he wasn't the guy. We just kept saying he needs help. So I don't get why Giannis always gets to be like, well, you ain't the guy, brother. Like instead of just saying he needs help.
I think he needs a guy, and when that guy comes, that will really show me whether Giannis is the A or the B. I guess that's kind of how I feel because I'm starting to just get less and less enthused with the way I watch Giannis in big games. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna just be like I said, I'm gonna go crazy and say it now at the end of this year. before we even get into it next year. That's just how I feel going into next season. That's something I'm looking at. I have a big microscope on Giannis, kind of the way I've always felt about Ben Simmons. Like I'm starting to get, the more I watch them, the more less enthused I am with the way they play in big games, and that's what it comes down to me.
I just realized something.
You guys know I'm the guy that jumps on that. I jumped down Lamar every big game. You know?
How the fuck we forget about our Nuggets? How did we forget about our Nuggets?
Love it.
That's my reaction to that. Like Ben Simmons.
Yeah, don't compare him to Ben Simmons. Don't put Giannis to Ben
First,
Simmons.
I just like it's like the same feeling to me. I get less enthused the more I watch them in big games.
Why is Zach just popping off with the fucking heat today? The hot take.
But you're right though.
Today.
I do want to get back to my Denver Nuggets because I am super high on that stock.
Hey, that's our Denver Nuggets, brother. We went over
beat
this.
it, dude. You're
Beat it. You're lucky I let you win. I let you win, and I gotta go.
Hell no. Terrence been on Nuggets. What the hell?
I'm sorry.
I had a whole rant.
Look at the top of your head.
I had a whole rant about
Sorry,
how when
sir.
the season
I see
started,
a Clipper hat.
I was the Nuggets guy.
I see a
when the
Clipper
season started. And
Blake
then the
Griffin
bubble,
over your shirt.
And then the bubble started. And then Terrence tried to hijack my Nuggets. And I said, you know what? There's room for all of us.
Name me 3 Nuggets in the 2000s right now.
Hell no. I'm not just going to say this. I know Terrence's draft people that he likes because we talk about this religiously.
Between Porter, we're doing this again.
Morris,
it's
Craig, like those
Twilight Zone.
That's all Terrence's boys. Murray,
They were my guys last October. Last October, before COVID, when the fucking season started.
They were Terrence's guys in 2018.
I can't believe I'm doing this again. This is crazy talk right now. This is absolutely bonkers. I put the Nuggets as a goddamn 2 seed over the Clippers, and then I vouched for them, and everybody was like, well, they'll be good. I don't know how good. And I'm like, they're young, they're deep, they got a good coach. Jokic is the best center. And like, I was Mr. Nuggets.
You ready for me to bang my gavel?
Stop.
You ready
no,
for
I'm not. Stop. And then the bubble started, and Terrence's fucking guy, Bull pops off, and we're like, okay, they're Terrence's Nuggets. And I'm over here like, what are we doing? And then we agreed that there was room for everybody. And now I have to kick rocks on the Nuggets. This is crazy. Erroneous.
Are you salty? Because
after close consideration, the court has ruled they are still Terrence's Nuggets.
Unbelievable, this podcast. Unbelievable.
Go ahead, boys. Get your Nuggets in there. I'm not sure. I think I like Dallas going into next year. I think maybe more if Porzingis healthy. Let me get crazy again.
If Michael Porter takes the step of actually wanting to play defense, honestly, I think he's going to take the step because he didn't even play all season. Then he got to play in a bubble and then in playoffs. I'm really high on Denver. Bull, unleash. Bull, unleash the madness.
He will be unleashed next year, I think.
They have to unleash him because, like, that was just too tantalizing for you to have to do that to us. Like, please unleash the man. Even if he sucks, let's see what he's about. Like, shit, let's just see it, man. Let me see him get dunked on.
Like, fuck.
Let me see him try to bring the ball up and get ripped. Who cares? Like, let's see it. No look dimes out, right out of bounds. But whatever, I'm super high on Denver, though. Like, Jokic showed me that man is the best center in basketball.
Definitely.
Jamal Murray, my goodness, this dude's like a 99 shot creator on 2K in the park. Like, this dude is out here just making the craziest fadeaway step backs. Like, my goodness. And like I said, MPJ. Gary Harris is no slouch. Cable version. Super cable version, actually. No, what is it? Sling TV? I would say he's like the Sling TV version of Klay Thompson.
The West is wild because I think we kind of forgot about Portland, and if they're healthy, like, you know, Gary Trent, speaking of Gary Trent's getting, you know, he had such a great bubble, and obviously
they got to do what I've been saying, man.
Got to get rid of CJ. I feel you.
I love CJ too. Hey.
Okay, here's something that you two dudes are a little more knowledgeable than me. You know, who are we really excited about draft prospects now that we can kind of get into this more? That my God, look who's making us up.
First round pick right there. That's who I got going number 1 overall chance.
You said Damian Lillard's the best rapper in the NBA? What?
You won't spit a bar chance.
That was controversial.
Chance, Scott. You know, LaMelo Ball's looking good. I really like Cole Anthony. I think he's going to be really good.
I don't like Cole Anthony.
What a bummer. I feel like he's got that.
He reminds me of Jamal Murray. I'm just not big on a lot of North Carolina guards. North Carolina players in general kind of haven't really been big on in a while.
You know,
I'm kind of just not big on tweeners right now.
Give me your guys. Give me your prospects that we're really looking for, and if they can land somewhere, where could they land that could really help?
I'm not going to be like super crazy.
Minnesota.
All right, Zach, fuck you.
All right, go.
I was like, I'm not
All
going
right,
to
well, I'm going in. Minnesota,
yeah.
don't trick it away. Go get Anthony Edwards.
Exactly.
Don't trick it away. Go get Anthony Edwards.
Exactly.
If not, I'm also not opposed to the LaMelo thing because they're also in a situation to where D'Lo is a tweener. So you can either put D'Lo at the 2. I low-key like D'Lo better at the 2 because he can really shoot. He's a really good catch-and-shoot player. But you can move D'Lo to the 2, or if you feel like he's a better 1, this is all preference on their coaching staff, you can move D'Lo to the 2 and then draft Anthony Edwards, who is an actual 2 who's like 6'6". So I think he's like 6'5", 6'4". But he's a traditional 2, like he can actually guard the position and probably switch on to 3s and so forth. So I like that. But you can also get really turn and go LaMelo because that boy is nice. But he's gonna bring a lot of attention, which Minnesota needs. Man, you're fucking boring.
I don't. This is one of the thinner drafts in my opinion. Like, not a ton of like difference makers. I think going forward in the league, I think they're at the top. The 2 names I was going to mention were Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. Like, both of those guys to me are like the guys in this draft that kind of feel like not going to miss. Probably really going to bring it at the next level. I am the biggest LaMelo guy. I think he's going to be absolutely spectacular. I can't wait for him to hit the scene in the NBA.
I actually really like James Wiseman too. I like the overseas prospect Dinvi Avicii.
Yeah,
he's nice. He's not the same kind of prospect as like Luka Doncic, but he is still a point forward. He is going to handle the rock. He's 6'6" or something like 6'7". So they got him listed at 6'9". So he's going to be handling the ball. He's going to play the 3, 4, 2. He's going to play like 2 through 4. And handle the ball. So I do like what he's bringing. They're super high on the guy from Iowa State is too, Tyler Halliburton.
Oh yeah, Halliburton.
Yeah, they're super high on him. He's a 6'5" point guard though, so you can never go wrong with 6'5" point guards.
Halliburton was cool in college. I think there's a lot of tweeners. There's Obi Toppin with the athleticism out the goddamn building.
Like, if the Warriors trade it back somehow and could get Obi at like 8, that would be perfect for them. They need somebody like that as well, because then they could just run a small ball lineup with Draymond and him, and then just have a bunch of shooters out there. That would be turned. But who knows what happens in that? But I do like Obi as well.
I don't want to drag out this draft prospect because I know we're going to get into it the closer the draft comes. I know that's when we'll really get into this. Bob Myers has said that he is down to ship this pick and shop this pick around. 2 questions. A, if you're Bob Myers, what would you do? B, if you cannot shake the pick and you are drafting at 2, who would you take if
Wiseman.
you're Bob Myers at 2 with the Warriors?
Absolutely.
Wiseman's
what they need.
If you were Bob, would you ship it? And who are you looking to ship it to?
If I could ship it, yes. But I'm not shipping it unless I'm getting a superstar. Like, not a star, a superstar. Because, like, you're going to ship Wiggins and this pick. So Wiggins is arguably, I think Wiggins can be a star in the NBA. I don't think he's a superstar, but I think Wiggins, in the right situation and motivated, he has all the talent to do it. He has all the skill set to do it. And especially in a motivated situation in Golden State, he should be able to play better. So I'm not necessarily thinking the Warriors should really even move it if they're seeing good things from Wiggins right now and like workouts and so forth. If they're liking what they're seeing from Wiggins, I would keep the pick and roll with Wiseman because it's kind of what they need anyway. He's an athletic big who can switch out to stuff. He can shoot the ball, and then you can run all the shooters around him as well. So it kind of fits on paper, but it all depends what actually Andrew Wiggins is buying you if you're actually going to believe in him.
I think if you do ship the pick, like you absolutely can't ship it to anybody you project to be in the top 4, maybe top 5 of the West, because that's just too risky to me. If you do ship it, you got to go find a star on a struggling team and kind of bring him over.
If you ship it to a team that's projected in the top 5, you're taking one of their best players.
True, but you're also going to give them they're going to probably keep one of their best players, and now you're enabling them to kind of rebuild for like a deeper run in my sense. Like,
what team do you
like the Clippers with Paul George, with speculative that they might be willing to move him. Like, I think that's risky to do that because you would allow the Clippers, the type of team, to keep Kawhi Leonard, also get a top 5 guy, and then they kind of can rebound to kind of.
So what the trade would be Wiggins and the pick for Paul George.
George and Lou Williams or some bench depth, something like that, something along those lines. Like, just don't ship it to like, go get. I
don't like that trade for either team.
But I'm just saying, like, don't
don't
give it to someone that is kind of a contender now and can also build something for a little longer of a run. If you do, you need to go get a star in a struggling situation. Like, that's what you ship it for, in my opinion.
Tyler Hero.
Maybe. No.
That's
Not
not
gonna
good.
be
I'm just asking.
not realistic. No. Better. You want better than that, though, for that pick. You want better than Tyler Hero for that pick.
I think they should keep it. But like I said, it all depends on Andrew Wiggins. Like that
Mhm.
dude has all the skill set in the world to average 23 easily, especially with the shooters around him. He could do it easily, but he's frustrating. He's a very frustrating player.
All right. I think our hardwood talk is going to be getting slimmer and slimmer here for the next couple months, but that's okay because we got the gridiron. Check my transitions. I'm out here. Yes, sir. To the gridiron. And I don't even want to do this because I don't want people to think we're a Bears podcast, but like they kind of have just been the hot story in the NFL to me. They beat Tampa Bay Thursday Night Football. Nick Foles, BDN.
Wish we could show the text.
And
Can't believe it.
Zach, who has been coined on Twitter by our boy Nick May as Mr. Bitter, is God, he's looking awful like Mr.
Finger
Glee.
guns today.
Don't he look Mr. Glee-ish?
I didn't expect us to win that game at all. I refused to bet on that game, and you guys know me. I
Zach,
bet on almost every
our
football game.
Bears
I hate that
insider
this team's
of
winning.
note, tell me how you're feeling about Nick Foles 1 week from absolutely red in the face
I think
blitzing him on this podcast.
I'll never not be upset the way they handled it. I still feel for troops. Absolutely. I still think it was handled very poorly. The shit that Terrence sent me where Acho breaks down 13 seconds why Nick Foles is the starting quarterback, that is undeniable footage of something I've never seen Trubisky make that type of call late in the game at the line of scrimmage, those type of checks, those types of moves. I've seen him lead comebacks. I know he's done similar stuff. I still love Troops. I still think, like I said, it was handled poorly. That shit right there where he breaks it down and we get the big swing route for the first down that essentially wins the game, that's fantastic. That is fantastic quarterback play, and you have to give like credit where credit is due. That's great. That type of stuff wins football games. Obviously helps that our defense is playing at a psychotic level again. Like we're literally nutty. I seen some crazy stuff on Twitter where like second in the league on third down, first on fourth down, like first down defense. Like we're really just out here right now. Defense is nuts, which helps your quarterback a lot. I'm looking at the schedule. I said this a week. We lost to the Colts, but like we got the Panthers. Sounds like a winnable game. This team could be 5-1. 5-1, you got to think that's nearly punching your ticket to the playoffs. You'd have to have a pretty sizable collapse. So I don't know. This team's interesting.
You collapse after 5-1. Nagy may not be there. Don't worry.
Right. People are losing jobs if you collapse after 5-1. So I just think this team's just getting really interesting to me. And it's definitely, like you said, Jake, what a change in attitude.
2 weeks in the NFL gives you what a change in 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago,
what have
they
I
were
told you in
3-0,
every sport?
finishing 8-8.
I said this is the worst 4-1 team I've ever seen last week. I told you that. Like, because we looked at Nick Foles had like 120 yards going into the last drive.
It's crazy is you still don't look that good, but you're winning games. So
we've made timely plays. We've really made the most timely
you
plays
lost that
and got
game
really
against
timely
Tampa Bay.
stops. Yeah,
Lost, but
got the defense got the stand, got the ball back, and you made timely plays at the end. Like it's just becoming a really interesting team the more it goes on. Ah, man, it's interesting.
So Tampa Bay goes from looking at 3-1 to now 2-2. I say they luck out with they don't have the toughest division. Panic button on Tampa Bay yet? Or are they right about where we think they were going to be?
I think they're weak
there, guys.
I think they're weaker than what we kind of anticipated because we said them and Patriots would probably have similar records, possibly the same record. Remember when we did that whole thing, Cam and Tom with the switch and stuff? I think like as long as Cam plays, the Patriots are undeniably better than Tampa Bay right now. I think like it's evident. So I think they're a little weaker. I think they're more like to me, they fringe on like a 9-7 team to me right now. Tampa Bay looks like, but it's Tampa Bay. Things can easily change quickly there.
I think their defense is not that good right now. Like
Exactly.
That's Tampa Bay's biggest problem. Like their offense is just ironing out the kinks. I think each week Brady's starting to look a little bit better and better, but
I think
that's a team that needed training camp more than anybody. Like they needed the preseason games, they needed all of that. So
I think
so
the
too.
NFC, for the most part right now, is a two-team race with the Bears on the outside. I think it is Seattle and the Green Bay Packers as the two teams that you really do not want to be a part of in the NFC. Like, they are head and shoulders, to me, better than everybody else in the NFC. With the Bears looking in, but I still think we don't really
And the Rams.
trust the Bears.
I think the Bears and Rams are looking in. I
mean,
the Rams. I'm sorry. I do.
But I'm not sold. Every week you guys keep trying to tell me, and I watch them, and I'm like, they're good. I don't know if they're, like I just said, the other two teams. I guess the Rams could be on that plane with the Bears.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and you're keeping an eye. But I'll tell you right now, they are not on Green Bay Packer or let's hear it, Zach. Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. I told you guys are gonna be saying it. It's a rest year. We felt it since early. We felt it, and it's a rest year. I can tell you right now.
That is a what do we call that, a BMF, a bad motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
And man, is he a beast, man. That guy is just got it on his back. And I said it again last week, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers sure look happy these days, don't he? It's wild what winning does to you. Man, that man looks happy. I think the NFC is really that. I think the Cowboys, obviously, I think it's terrible what just happened to Dak. But I mean, I don't really trust them, and I never have, and I don't know if I ever will until they actually prove me wrong. That's how I feel about them.
Yeah, I think the NFC is definitely kind of down, kind of weak. I mentioned it too in pre-pod today discussion. Like Drew Brees to me is noticeably. This has got to be his last year. Like he's noticeably declined this year. We've been seeing it kind of edge on, but it's like I feel like decision making's a little fault. Like last night he looked very kind of in between in some decision making and some throws. He was on like his third, fourth read and still kind of forcing it. He had the terrible pick. The pick he threw was so bad. I was like, Drew, you haven't made a throw that bad in a long time. The arm strength isn't
Drew's
there.
old and needs to go, but
yeah,
stop bringing Taysom Hill in on third down and taking Drew Brees off the field. Stop bringing Taysom Hill in the game on third down.
They scored the touchdown doing it, though. They did.
But it's like 1 for 9 this year. Stop doing that shit.
I literally said out loud, I said, stop getting fucking cute, Peyton. What are you doing trying to win the game right now? And then this fool hikes in and runs it in. I was like, good shit, Sean. Great call.
He was like, look what I'm working with here. Drew stinks, so let's just bring Taysom in.
Got to get
That's
weird
all.
with it.
But, like, right now, the best teams in the NFC, to me, it's like, wow, how did the Niners even make it? I know they got all those injuries.
They look bad. God.
But they have no quarterback, and that's the most important position in football, so I'm not worried about the Niners. Packers, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. That marriage is still going to end ugly. He's probably going to end up being a quarterback for the Niners. So, side note. But my Lions, we stink. Jake, I wanted to check in with us since we talked about those sorry-ass Cubs in Chicago. Did want to check in with you since we are having a matchup.
I don't know how we're going to get each other gear. But we'll have to figure something out.
I don't know how you're going to wear Lions gear. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to be wearing Lions gear.
You know what I'm saying? You'll have to just give it to me when I go to work one day.
We're due for a win.
Because the Lions are definitely
the mustache. We better fire that fat dude.
In the flip, Zach, you gotta come grab it
after work
when you're at work from my spot, and then bring it back to him. Hey, way to be a guy, Zach. Way to figure that out.
Oh, meaning Zach, that Brandon Marshall jersey that you let me borrow got burned last week. I'm sorry.
Got burned. But it's
no.
Crazy. I feel like I saw a similar one on eBay, and Terrence just told me about how he just got $40 randomly on the street. So that's weird.
Wow.
Well, what was crazy is that like it fell over fire. Like I don't know how.
Just fell over on a fire
at the beach.
Like
spooky season, dude. It's October. It just got a mind of its own. Spooky season, man.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know how.
I do want to switch to the AFC, and I'll drag in this Aaron Rodgers thing.
Chiefs are overrated?
Yes, I will get there. I think they are a little overrated.
I don't know if they're overrated, but they're human. They are human.
They're definitely overrated because everybody wanted to crown their ass as not being human. So
yeah.
You have to be overrated.
When I watch them, like the defense isn't getting the stops. And this was typical. It's kind of how it was.
The defense, the offense isn't what people thought it was. Like the offense
it's not clicking like it was.
Isn't a super cheat code as everybody thought. Like, oh, it's no matter what the passing yards is, they could it could be 30-15, they're gonna pick it up. No,
I still feel like that though when I watch that team.
I don't always like these teams. A lot of these defensive coaches. Like, put it like this. It's two teams that really have played them really well, and it's consistent. The Chargers, every single time they played him, have played the Chiefs well. It's just something about their scheme, and teams are starting to look at the film, I'm guessing, and like, well, why are the Chiefs? I mean, why are the Chargers playing them well? But the Chargers also play a lot of teams well because that defense is phenomenal. But I don't know. The Chiefs is just something about that offense that people gassed up to make it unhuman, and it's obviously not that. But they're still a really good team.
They're best fantastic offense in the league. I think it looks a little like it still needs to click a little bit. Like you said, that preseason and stuff really needed it. But we're getting kind of late into the season. I think.
But he's also missing 2 of his starting linemen. That's also very important. True. They opted out.
I think last year what was so big in their run was their defense really found themselves late in the season. They really started playing at a high level defense, and this defense is just not. not playing at a high level at all right now. What
was the Raiders score?
Really
was it
not
in
great.
the 20s?
I want to say it finished 30 whatever to like low 20s.
Something, right?
Yeah, I can pull it up right here. I got
they
the NFL
struggled to
schedule,
score against the Raiders.
On my thing right
they
here.
They put up all the points in the first half,
40,
right?
40 to 32. No. It was the shootout.
They put up all the points in the first half, right?
They put up 24 in the first half, and then they had the one touchdown with 8 points in the fourth quarter. Both teams failed to score in the third in that game.
Mm-hmm. I just remember they were killing them in the first half.
Giving up a 40 spot, like I just don't know how you don't go right to defense, in my opinion. Like that's where it is for me at this team. I'm never going to be worried about the Chiefs scoring. Between Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the scheme, they're going to score. They're going to score points. I think the defense has to
Did you see the throw across his body on, what was it, like 3rd and long? Oh, my
God. Ridiculous.
That dude is amazing. But the offense, I just wanted to mention the offense because everybody gassed that offense up to be unstoppable. They were going to average like 50 points a game, and it's obviously not the case.
It looks human.
It looks human, which it should.
I did want to say in the AFC because I'm going to, as I like to do, I'm Charlotte, so I like to toot my horn. Ben Roethlisberger revenge tour in full effect. They're looking like when I told you guys they might win the division, it's looking like they very damn well could. And they got the Ravens matchup coming up soon, and I really like them going into that. Lamar is – I'm not saying Lamar has looked weak, but I'm just saying like the Ravens and Steelers don't look far off. It looks like a really good matchup. Big Ben and Aaron Rodgers, like I said, big revenge tour this season. It looks like it's in full effect.
My hot take, honestly, it hurts me to say this, but I'm concerned with my boy in Baltimore right now. He has thrown a lot of ducks this season, and he should have had 3 picks last week, and he only threw 1. But a lot of his balls have been selling high and just not hitting guys in stride or anything like that. And he's been throwing a lot of he should have had multiple interceptions in several of his games. So I am a little concerned what's going on, but they're still winning. So it's
there just hasn't been like that nice. We expected kind of like a good progression leap this year, I think. We all kind of expected him like off the MVP season. Boom, he's going to prove something and really hit it hard this year. And he's kind of just been like a flat line. I'm waiting for him to like hit that jump like he usually does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the Steelers this year. I told you guys I'm big on them. They got guys like Claypool going for 4 touchdowns, dude. Ben will find anybody. That's what elite quarterbacks do. They make any receiver look good.
Oh my God, Chase Claypool. But I also want to say stop running Wildcat in the goal line with your running back. That didn't make any sense in Jacksonville. And I have James Robinson.
Did anybody
I
see
was pretty
play
pissed.
Jacksonville tried? How fucking rinky dink did that shit look?
Was he trying to throw it? Like, was it a passing play
or
was it a run play?
Halfback. It was like a fake run halfback pass play.
That was stupid.
That's an understatement.
Just run the ball
you should have seen me on my couch because like that was like the game was in the balance right there. Like the Jags would have took the lead with that touchdown and extra point, and like he did it on 4th down, and I was just like,
I gotta try to edit that clip into here so people can see it on YouTube.
Like literally stupid. I was like Jay, like the whole time. First off, Minshew, the play starts, Minshew runs out to the left, and I went Jay. I knew it was no good right there, and then. They wildcat that shit to him. Starts running right. Obviously, nowhere to fucking run. And I just keep Jay, what do you call Jay?
Fumble.
And then fucking winds up and I'm like, Jay, fumbles it. Jay, what the fuck, Jay? Oh my, it was so bad. It was so fucking.
He didn't even have his fingers in the laces or anything. He was about to just throw the ball.
Just like.
Y'all seen that video? The dude who the 1930s pass. He just throws it like this.
Jay was watching that over a fucking whiskey and was like.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I could use that. I could use that right there.
Oh man.
Nothing drives me crazier than when these coordinators get really cute at the end of games in the red zone. I'm like, do we have to run the quarterback out left right now? Like,
what are we doing? Well, we sure you have a Wildcat quarterback. You were starting a Wildcat quarterback for a few years. Zach.
When Jay grew
in Nagy's defense.
When Doug Peterson's success,
I wasn't talking just about us, man. I meant everybody. Doug is the king of this. Doug is painful to watch.
Hey, speaking of that, real quick, I was watching the Eagles game last week. They brought in Hurts, and it was weird because like Wentz was kind of playing a little bad, and they brought in Hurts, and everybody was like, "Huh?" But it was just a Wildcat playing. Hurts threw a strike for 20 yards and ran back off the field and smiling, and Peters ran up to him, and they was all geeked up about it. And Wentz probably was like. What the fuck, man? What's
well, if you don't
stop,
bro.
Don't you love me, man? Man, Hurts could start over there eventually, though, because they are super killing that man right now. The media is brutal.
Well, Philly media is worse than any media in the whole
That's what I was saying when we was texting about, like, Doug could be out of a job, and he doesn't deserve that at all.
I think the ownership is smarter to let the media decide that one because
I'm not sure.
Man. I'm not sure.
That media pressure
hot over there.
Yeah, I'm like, public and media pressure be scary over there.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Justin Herbert is still impressing. Like, I kind of has been expecting him to have that game where he looks very rookie-ish and not.
He still looks like a rookie, but that dude can ball.
But I mean, he set the Monday Night Football rookie record with 4 touchdowns. I mean, the kid can really play, and I always
he reminds me of Josh Allen.
Them Oregon quarterbacks are tough to judge because they're really never good unless your name was Dan Fouts, you know. And boy, is he playing well. Man, does he look good. And here's the good thing about being a rookie quarterback.
You look good.
You don't have to win. That's the great thing about being a rookie. You're not expected to win as a rookie. So if you don't win but you play well, that's okay. It's okay. And that's okay for him. As long as he continues to play well, he solidifies his job.
They should have won the game if Bagley wasn't a bum.
I know.
You know, 50 though, Steve.
50. Right, like you expect him to make it, but if your kicker misses 50, like 50 is that number. If it's 50 plus and he misses it, you got to give him a pass. You can't fire him for missing the game.
I can't give him a pass because I've seen Charger kickers for years fuck that franchise over. So it's like, man, we're tired of giving you guys pass. What was my man? Keating? Wasn't it Nate Keating? No, it was Kading, I think. It was something like that.
Oh,
when it was Rivers' early years.
Yes.
It was Rivers' early years at LT. Yeah, Kading, bro, that man.
That shit was like 33. That shit was like 33 yards, and that shit got Marty Schottenheimer fired. That kick got Marty Schottenheimer fired.
But he had missed multiple kicks. Like, it wasn't just that one. Like, that dude was breaking their hearts several times.
They won like 14 games that year, and he missed that kick in the playoffs.
Heartbreaking.
And that wasn't you don't get a slide on
you don't want to be handshake guy. Because I always talk about that. If you ever watch when a kicker misses a kick and costs a team a game, he's always the guy at the side shaking all his teammates' hands like, my bad, yo. You don't want to be handshake guy. You want to be the guy that gets carried off. Where everybody's like, yeah, turn up with the kicker. You want to be
hitting helmets. Yeah.
You want to be hitting helmet guy. You don't want to be handshake guy. Handshake guy missed it just trying to be cool to everybody and hope they don't beat him up because he didn't have anything to do with the game. He just smoked the kick.
I'm going to get outlandish with this question. Has Justin Herbert earned the right to get a Joe Burrow comparison?
Yeah, I think they both
I know
look good.
Joe's running for his life. Oh my god,
man, is he? Good God, is he?
I think absolutely. I think they both look good, and they both.
Who's the backup over there? They might need to start him for a few weeks just to let Joe rest, man. It ain't
some ice on them knees.
Star get killed, dude. Like we know you can play, Joe.
Joe's not Kyler with the baseball background. Joe can't fucking slide. If you got noticed, Joe slides their shit.
Yeah, his slides aren't that well. But he's a big guy. Kyler's also a two-way.
Yeah, he is honestly out there. But yeah, I do.
I'll never forget when somebody said on Twitter that Kyler Murray runs like a badass little kid.
Oh, yeah.
That is the funniest shit. If you watch the way Kyler runs, he definitely looks like a bad little kid. Like, with his hands.
Because he's holding the ball, so he's like...
He's running away like, give me back that remote. And he's like, no.
Yeah. It's mine.
It's mine. No. Give me back the remote.
No, it's mine.
You start chasing his little.
He run like it's like a cartoon. It's like his legs are moving.
Tommy Pickles, dude.
Oh my god, that's
funny. Tommy Pickles.
Yeah, that's kind of all I have for NFL. Those were kind of the storylines. I think that our NFL talk's really about to heat up too, which is good. Season's about to kind of get into that like make or break playoff push.
Before we transition, I just want to say out of nowhere my back is starting to hurt.
Oh no!
Why? And I don't know if I can go tonight, man. Like, or the rest of this series, or anything. Like, who can do the rest of the podcast for me? Because my back's hurting out of nowhere, dude. So
he got me too. I'm like, what do you mean your back hurts, dude? I'm like,
out of nowhere.
Like,
out of nowhere, dude. My back is hurting out of nowhere, dude.
Out of nowhere.
Like, so, can you guys do the rest of the podcast for me? I'm gonna go chill with Kershaw because our backs are hurting.
Sick of this guy.
All right, late. I'm out.
Stand, Terrence. Well, that will be our transition, then, as always, into the diamond, into baseball. Look at Jacob. Jacob is so salty over there. My God.
I'm legit mad.
I'm legit mad because I fell for it. Like, that's why I'm mad. It's because like he really got me. I'm like, wait, do we have to stop? Like, oh man. As always, baseball and the rest of this episode brought to you by 5 Star Vintage. All your best vintage retro gear. Go to 5 Star Vintage. Enter the promo code Other Team, all one word. Don't put the on the beginning. Just Other Team, all one word for 15% off your next deposit. I'm sorry, your next deposit. That's the other end. Your next order. 15% off your next order. I actually just seen some cool stuff. Obviously, you got the great Centennial Atlanta Olympics right there shirt. I saw even stuff to jackets. He's got a really cool like denim Wrangler with the fur kind of inside jacket that just popped up today. Yeah, if you want to get your Brett Favre.
You like that, Zach?
Go for it. Yeah, it's a medium, so like it's not good for me. You know, Big Z not gonna fit into that. But like
a cigarette he rolled.
Yeah, of course. Come on, dude. He doesn't roll around cigarettes, shit. Come on, girl.
Sorry, Lieutenant Diane. She smelled like cigarettes.
So, 5starvintage.com. While we get a chiropractor and a cortisone shot.
I don't even want to entertain what Terrence is about to bring up. I don't even want to fucking entertain.
So the LCSs have started, both league championship series. Obviously, we all know we're going to go right to the Dodgers. They're down 1-0. Bullpen, I'm not going to say blew it. It was a tie game, but they did blow it, I guess. You know, gave up the ninth inning kind of rally, and the Braves pop off.
1-0. My back.
Kershaw set to pitch tonight in Game 2 or this afternoon, actually, about 30 minutes from now, and pops up this morning with the back spasms, which is crazy. Okay, so this is why I feel like I know this is a weird situation, is because I would never entertain Terrence and be like, yeah, that's weird. But I did get a weird feeling when I saw it. We all know Kershaw's numbers in the playoffs when the team is losing the series. The ERA is like close to 5. It's not a good look. And we go down 1-0, and the game plan changes, and now we're prepping him for Game 4. He's not even pitching tomorrow.
This feels like every time I told my bosses I had food poisoning, and I just didn't want to go to work. Like, you can't prove back spasms and shit like that. So it's like, especially if it's back injury, it's like, it's tightened up.
This is an injury he's dealt with for 3
All I'm saying
5
is,
years
honestly,
now.
dude, to be completely honest, Kershaw probably really hurt. But it's funny as hell. And it's also
it's
horrible
awkward
timing.
It's awkward timing.
Because that man seen him go down 1-0, and he was like, babe, punch me in the back right now. Do it. Do it. They're like, what's Kershaw? Why is Kershaw falling down the stairs right now? Like, that's weird. Just seeing the dude sliding down the bleachers.
I didn't think it was Kershaw that did. I ultimately thought it was Dave panicking was my first crazy conspiracy.
Hey, Kershaw, how you doing? Right to the back.
You've kind of seen Aaron Boone do this, where like he announces a starter and they'll like throw 1 inning and then he turns it into a bullpen game out of left field that no one projected happening. He did that with the Debbie Garcia and then J.A. Happ start, and it blew up in his face. I kind of got that feeling. Like Doc was like, oh yeah, we're gonna,
Doc?
Kershaw. That's what they call him. That's Dave. Yeah, Dave Roberts' nickname is Doc.
Oh God, get away from the Doc nicknames in LA. Okay.
And so, like, they're prepping. Kershaw went Game 2 every series. They're prepping him for a lefty, and then out of left field, boom, we're gonna throw this sinker ball righty at you. Like, that was my immediately conspiracy theory. Like, Dave panicked and threw this wild card out there. At the end of the day, Kershaw probably really is hurt. He's got a tight back. He's fighting through it. They got to prep him for Game 4. But it was awkward timing. It was awkward timing, and I don't ever entertain that. It was awkward.
Entertain Zach's theory. That I can entertain. I can't entertain the thought of a legend like Clayton Kershaw running from a start. He's had this stigma for 7 years now.
We have video evidence of him sliding down bleachers, dude. What are you talking about?
Never, ever ran from a start in his life. He knows this. He's every time taken the challenge to try to rewrite his story. Every single time. And you want me to expect that out of left field one day he finally decided, yeah, fuck it, dude. I don't want to. No. I don't even want to entertain that shit. No.
Still saw Riley go deep in the ninth and was like, my back! Not again!
Might have hurt that shit snapping his head at all the fucking home runs they hit last night. Maybe. Fuck.
Dude. Honestly, Dave is coaching. Dave's coaching for his job, so I think he just walked up to Kirsch, was like, "Hey man, how you feeling?" Right in the back. So he don't trust Kirsch no more. Like he's like, "Dude, I'm not coaching for you. I'm not losing my job over Kirsch, so you're not pitching for me." Brother.
In all seriousness, though, even with Kershaw not pitching tonight, I don't have a real high level of concern in this series yet. Outside of Blake Trinan, the bullpen actually did really well last night. Stacked up in big situations, and I think this Dodgers
you're
team,
down 1-0. You should be concerned.
No, I don't think so. I think the Dodgers. No, I'm not really concerned. The Dodgers are built for a 7 games in 7 days type of series. We have the longevity. We kind of outside of Kenley Jansen, the bullpen is kind of built for that here. We have a lot of arms that really showed up well last night. Outside of Trinan laying one down the dick to Riley, who ran into it.
Yeah, but the mystique is what's the Dodgers' problem, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, you have that monkey on your back. Even for the players that are new there, they may not feel it, but they feel it. The pressure is
thoughts
really
creep back into your head when it starts coming.
Look, the bullpen
again.
isn't the reason this team lost last night. They scored one fucking run. One run.
But this is a problem every year in the playoffs. Like, why does this happen? Why do they hit all year and then they go?
I don't know. The bats typically hit. Typically, it usually is the bullpen just giving up shit, and the pitching can't hold it down. I mean, it was a 1-1 game going into the ninth. You got to think. You have to think if the Dodgers are able to score 3 runs in that game, you have a 2-run lead going into the ninth, and you can throw your closers out there. They would have fared better.
Which is who for us, though?
But I mean, yeah, they said. Friedman already went public saying it's basically we're playing matchups at this point. We don't have a solidified closer. We're going matchups.
That's dangerous.
Cool. That's what they should be doing. It's what basically every other team does now in the MLB for the most part. It's what they should have been doing for years. It's what we've all been asking for years.
But everyone's been doing since the Royals went and did it and went on that crazy run, essentially.
It's what we've been asking for 3 years now with Kenley Jansen was to not let him be it and basically let it be any of the other guys. So
Gratterall needs to be pushed back more and more.
I'm actually down for one closer to be your closer, but
he better have lights out shit.
That's next year, Terrence. Gratterall rolls into that role next year.
Well, like the Braves right now, they're trotting out Mark, and he's lights out right now.
Yeah, he has been.
And he's a proven closer, even though he kind of fell off, but he's a proven closer.
It's crazy because he's like a pitch-to-contact closer, which is really dangerous this time of year.
Oh, my God. It's super dangerous, especially pitching to a team like this. Like, pitch-to-contact, do we hit that?
I agree. And also, you have to go in this. We're down 1-0 going up against Max Fried, who's been absolutely nearly unhittable this year. So you lose Max Fried to the Max Fried game. He goes nearly 10 strikeouts, gives up 1 run. Like, I can live with that and not be too concerned if I'm the Dodgers yet. I really expect a good night out of them today.
Who are the Braves starting tonight?
Ian Anderson, who's been lights out.
Into the 7th inning. He needs to find a ways to get into the 7th
Tony
inning.
Gonsolin?
No, Walker Buehler.
Walker Buehler, yeah.
He needs to find a way. He gets.
Oh, it's unacceptable.
He gets every single batter 3 balls, 2 strikes, and then it's like, fuck it. If I walk him, I walk him. If he hits a hit, he gets a hit. Which he has to put away pitches and put batters away early because every time you're looking up, you're like, Jesus Christ, 2 outs in the 3rd, and you're sitting at 78 pitches.
It's controlled because he had 7 Ks last night, but he had 5 walks. Like that's
right.
I think it's like a lack of detail and attention because he has the stuff to strike guys out. That's why he gets to 3-2. Guys fouls off pitches and he throws some nasty shit and strikes them out. So it's like, dude, you need to just tighten up your game. It's frustrating.
He needs to watch old Kershaw footage, as crazy as that sounds. Kershaw pounds the strike zone.
I don't know what he needs to watch. He needs to pound the strike zone more. Watch Pedro or something. But you need to watch something because you are throwing way too many pitches. Like Jake said, dude would be in the 5th inning at 100. It's like, bro, you no way you're going to help us win this game now. You're about to go out.
They couldn't touch him last night. He was as good as Fried, but he lacked the control. He had 7 strikeouts. I think he gave up 2 hits in the game. One of them, a dinger to Freddie.
And a fucking single.
You know, it's like you had it. You just need to be, like you said, that attention to detail is exactly what it is. In the playoffs, guys take big pitches.
You got to mess around and have Dustin.
The batter raises his level. Yeah, the batter raises his level of play like that, and they take tough pitches. You have to make even tougher ones. It's attention to detail.
Walks are rally starters in the playoffs. We say it every single year. Walks are rally starters.
Walks and errors. Look at the Astros series yesterday. A lazy defensive play in the 1st inning by Altuve and Gurriel, and all of a sudden, next guy, Manuel Margot, goes 3-run dinger, and you lose the game. You know, that ends up being the difference in the game.
Man.
Walks and errors are rally starters in the playoffs, and you cannot do it. It's attention
to detail. Needed.
Oh, man. And they shipped him. And then he went and he was
playing
stunk
there, though.
He honestly wasn't great at all for the Rays this year, but he's been really timely in the playoffs.
It's funny because they shipped him and Renfroe over there. Renfroe stinks too, but he hits bums.
Yeah, to switch to that series, I love the Rays. God, I love the Rays.
I'm happy they're just handling handling baseball God's business by beating the Astros.
Yeah, and I love like their entire just approach to baseball. I love
their manager's dope.
Kevin Cash is great. They're tough. G-Man Choi is amazing. Rosarena,
Are they
Adames,
starting McKay? Is he starting?
No, I don't even know if he made these postseason rosters. I haven't seen him much at all. I think he's still kind of a project. But they're running out the nastiest bullpen I've seen in years. It's unbelievable.
And every guy they throw out of that bullpen can throw 2 innings, 3 innings.
And I'm just gonna say, like, they need respect, man. I got I'm gonna leave them unnamed, but I got a friend who's been telling me for over 2 months that they're nothing. They're not the real deal. They're nobody. And I have to continually tell him they got the
Rays.
Yeah, the Rays got the 1 seed. They went and beat the Bronx Bombers. They beat Garrett Cole in Game 5, and now they're up 2-0 in the LCS. Like, I think it's about time you realize the Rays are for real. Their pitching is real. Their core is real. This team will be good for the foreseeable future until those guys go get the contracts like usually happens. But if this front office can find a way to keep that core together, this team will be right there, probably winning the division in a full season next year.
I feel like
Snell's under contract, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the Rays are what we always want the A's to be. Like, that's what we want the A's organization to be. Like, the success that the Rays have and have had with Joe Madden.
Whoa.
That's what we always want the Oakland A's to be.
The A's are successful. They just haven't actually.
They just won their first playoff series in since '88 or whatever the hell that shit.
Yeah, but they make it to the playoffs. Is what I'm saying. Like, they're a successful
franchise.
But
the Rays
but I get what
make
you're
it
saying,
to the playoffs
World
and
Series.
actually win playoff series. So that's why they're what we want Oakland.
They're the next step for Oakland, right? They're like that next step we want.
Quickly on Oakland, Billy Bean just left. So
yeah, I did see that crazy end of a big era there.
Era there.
Really curious to see how that front office moves after that.
I wonder, is he just done with baseball, or?
I doubt it.
That's what I'm saying. So whatever front office goes and grabs Billy Bean is going to be kind of a.
My first thought was that, damn, he might be going to a super team now. It'd be interesting if he jumped sports, like he goes to go mess with the Clippers or something. That'd be
crazy. Because didn't a guy from the Browns like move over to baseball or something like that, or they hired a guy from baseball? The Browns hired a guy from baseball or something like that. So
those guys do that stuff all the time.
They don't look at it. They don't look at it like we do. Like
they look at it as numbers.
Right. It's exactly. It's numbers, and it's different. It's they so you can kind of bounce sports in that aspect.
I will say too, R.I.P. Joe Morgan. While we're on the baseball topic, who's the guy that he did the games with, Jake? On
John Miller.
That is like one of the earliest crews growing up that I just love. I can still hear him. I believe that was the crew for MLB Slugfest, the video game. Like, just so good. Like, that was one of the first duos in baseball commentating that I truly can just picture in my mind. Really big games.
They both have
lost so many legends in 2020. Wow.
They both had that, because John Miller now does the Giants everyday broadcast.
I think for radio, Kirk and Kipe are their TV guys.
Yeah. No, he's the radio guy. God, him and Joe.
Fantastic radio voice, too.
They just have that voice that just resonates on a microphone where you hear it, and it's just like, I don't know, dude. I could listen to you call fucking badminton. You have that voice that makes me just get closer to the TV or something. I loved Joe Morgan as a baseball commentator. I thought he was awesome. That batting stance is crazy. Will always live in infamy. Big Red Machine, man. He was part of a legendary baseball team that was a dynasty. So
the era of baseball that he got to call as a commentator was so perfect for his knowledge as well, you know, as opposed to how the game's played today, where guys like Brzezinski and Smoltz are really driven by kind of like numbers and swing and stuff like that. Those guys break it down well. Whereas he played in that small ball era, still, you know, button guys over. Your number 2 hitter was still like Mark Ellis, that type of guy, you know, and he could really break the game down so well. And
I wish
he's
we
such
played
a good
baseball still like that.
I do wish there was a little more of that in the game, absolutely. And he could kind of just give such a good take on that era of baseball growing up and the way it was played that day. Like, definitely lost the legend. Really sad.
I'm actually glad you brought that up real quick tangent, because like it's funny that they added the rules for pace of play to make pitchers not be able to be subbed out right as like specialists and so forth. You have to pitch to three batters.
Yeah, three batters now or finishing.
The games are even longer now. They're just as long. You added a DH, so that's another guy that's going to go up there taking 9 to 10 pitches and add more shit. Take DH out of baseball if you want games to go faster. Make a pitcher hit. Obviously, he's not a hitter, so the games are going to go a little bit faster. But I hate the fact that we do not play baseball the way – I wouldn't say the way it's meant to be played, but the fact that it's no small ball, bases can be loaded, minimal. Nobody ever bunts anybody over. You could have – first and second, no outs. Don't bunt the guy over. Right. Second and third, don't bunt. I'm sick of it. Like, and then
when was the last time you seen someone pull out like a crazy squeeze for like a big run? You know, like when was the last time you saw that?
But here's the gag: they end up fucking not even scoring that inning.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Second and third, first and second with no outs, and you end up strikeout, fly out.
Like no one can hit like situational hitting. I feel like has definitely gone down. Like you said, second and third, no out, and like a guy's taking like a daddy.
Guys must think it's
like put the ball on the ground to the right side.
And it's not even that. Like second and third, no out's not even a bunching situation. That's like a just do a job, right? Like get the ball in the air to the right side, get the ball in the air to bring him in on a sac fly, or put the ball on the ground to the right side of the field and get him in.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like something
just
like that. And you just
don't
over. See that first and second, no out. Like you got to drop a bunt down unless you're like a 2-3-4 guy in the lineup or 2-3-4-5.
Yeah, I'm not asking my main guys, my 3, 4, 5. I'm probably not asking you to, even my 2, depending on who it is.
I don't think everyone needs to do it, but I think in the playoffs you should see a lot more of it.
I watched the Padres.
Game's so
pissed
tight.
Me off.
The game's so tight in the playoffs.
Did it several times. Their bottom of their lineup, they had guys who were 7, 8, 9 hitters, bases loaded, profile, drop the bunt, sack fly, like do something, situational hit. No, I'm swinging for the fences. Like why? Why are we
not
at the point to where
as
everybody?
Much as you want us to with runners on third, but outside of that, I'm
bunting with guys on third. I'm definitely sack. I'm squeezing. I'm squeezing plays. If it's no outs, I'm definitely down.
It's a tough play to pull off because it doesn't always work in your favor.
It doesn't, bro. You swinging for the fences, striking out doesn't work in my favor either.
I'd rather. Well, it just depends the hitter. Depending on the hitter, I'd rather just go for the sack fly.
Right, or like ground ball, hard ground ball,
and watch the guy strike out when you could have just.
Shit. Well, when the guy fucking fouls off 2 bunts, and then now you're sitting here 0-2. Fuck.
Well, that's up to you. I don't know how many times that's up to you how many times you want to have the guy even try to drop the bunt. It's also bunt's supposed to be dropped down surprisingly. Drop it down once. I don't know if I like having guys bunt twice anyway for that simple reason, Jake.
Unless you're one rebate against the Braves in 2008, fucking missed the first 2 pitches on the bunt.
Still dropped it down. Psychopath. But
no,
that's a badass.
Then he went 2-2 and dropped a dick down the third base line, down the left.
I thought he bunted
line.
It. I'm thinking.
No, he missed.
I thought he dropped another one.
And then he fucking dropped a fucking bomb, 3-run bomb up the fucking.
Oh, that's even badass then. See, there you go. Don't be scared to drop the bunt.
Fucking
pull it back and then swing.
With how tight the games are in the playoffs, I do wish you'd kind of like manufacture some more runs. I think it would really go a long ways. I do think the Dodger lineup's really hard to do that with because Cody Bellinger's batting 6th and AJ Pollock's batting 7th, and those are guys that bat 2, 3, 4 in any other lineup in the bigs.
Right. At the end of the day, you play to win the game, so it's like, be selfless, dude. We're trying to win. Just score some runs. Like, if you're really worried about all that shit, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I understand that like bunting isn't always the best situation, but situational hitting needs to be
a lot better
than what it is.
Definitely.
Everything's all launch angle. Let's try to hit home runs, and then now we end up with a bunch of boring.
It ruined the Reds. They scored 40% of their runs on the home run and ran into the Braves and got destroyed. They couldn't they couldn't find a way to score. You know.
Mm-hmm. Should have been trying to figure out how to score. Somebody lay a bunt. Somebody get hit.
Just like move a guy over. You know. Just take a
do
more
something
compact
like
swing.
shit. It is more ways to play than just launch angle.
But outside of that, I mean, baseball's heating up. I'm really excited. I think Dodgers really pull it together today. I'm not ready to hit the panic button and go there again. I'm really not ready to panic.
We gotta hurry up. I gotta go to the
good stuff, boys.
It's killing me, man.
Terrence got to get that chiropractor. Oh, I know Terrence wanted to mention the UFC and stuff coming up. McGregor, my dog, getting back in the ring.
We still got college.
Oh, I thought we weren't going to go there. I figured we went football, baseball, back to football. It just felt a little crazy to me.
It's on the agenda.
All right, we could go there.
Look at that intern just getting crazy. Yeah, look at this guy.
Look at the one that skipped over it, not us.
Yeah, man.
Well, I want to talk about the back, but.
Well, the back led to baseball, brother.
We still got to talk about college.
All right. The big story I think that did come out in college football, we can go there real quick, is like 43 confirmed positive at Baylor. I was like, that's an astronomical number. I don't even know how you're going to get a product back on the field soon. And that's kind of a team that's like that's like a noticeable team that's going to need to get their games played. Like, not kind of to say it like that, like they're in the mix. They're a team that's in the mix. They need to be on the field and playing. That's a really big wrench in college football. I think that came out. That's kind of crazy to me.
I just don't know how college keeps playing at this point right now. I just don't understand it.
With all these people in the
I was just
stands
about to
and
say
shit
with
too.
fans in the stands. What the fuck?
It's like every time I watch it, I'm just uncomfortable even supporting it. It's like turn this off so no, they don't even get my money from this shit. Like this is crazy right now.
It is nuts.
But,
but
I did watch some of the games though.
Florida just halted all their football activities because they got COVID cases.
All right, well let's actually speak from a football aspect because that is wild.
I think these are going to continue to pop up. I think they've popped up in just about every league. So I don't think it's like entirely like the season's not going to be played. I think that's always like a feeling you get when these things happen. But I don't think I'm ready to go there yet. I've seen for the most part, most of these games are getting played. Most of these teams aren't coming out with COVID positive cases. It's just tough when every team has such a different circumstance. Some of them have people on campus. Some of them have people in the stands. Some of them don't, some of them are isolated at home. So I think you'll continue to see some blips on the radar, but they're going to get I've always said, these people play on a different level than I can fathom. Games are going to get played. I can almost guarantee it.
Well, from an on the field aspect, who do you guys like?
I watched every second of the Bama and Ole Miss game this week, right?
Najee, my goodness.
First off, bananas. Both teams over 600 yards of offense, over 100 combined points. It was bonkers. Given that, though, I still think Clemson's the best team.
Georgia flexed their muscles again. Georgia flexed their muscles again.
JT Daniels is a starter over there?
Absolutely not. He ended up being like third string.
Yeah, he's
I don't know why I thought I read that he was a starter. I haven't seen Georgia play. I don't know who their starter is.
I think they're going to get humbled.
Stetson Bennett. You
Yeah,
said they're going to get humbled? By who?
They played Bama this week.
What grade he is?
Sophomore, junior?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know Stetson's exact year. I feel like, damn, is Stetson a redshirt freshman or freshman? Anyways,
probably a 5-star recruit, whoever he is.
For sure. I do think they flex their muscles, Jake. But looking at Alabama, they literally can score at will, Jake. Like Alabama can score damn near every drive.
His name's Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
I was about to say they still got Jones.
He's looking really good. Yeah, Mac's looking really good. No, they haven't played a formidable.
I wasn't sure if they was going to start that freshman they recruited. They got like a 5-star freshman he recruited.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Jake. I think they're going to get humbled. I think Bama easily covers the 3.5. Easily covers it.
Are you saying Bama by 2 scores?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
12 plus. 13
Have you
plus.
watched Georgia this year?
Yes, I do. I like them. But Bama, dude, I'm telling you.
They can score.
Steve Sark does not have the OJ and vodka for breakfast anymore, bro. Like, he's got the playbook. Like, it's nutty. He's back on the sideline. He's not up in the booth with the what's the Yeti cup filled with some hooligan juice or whatever, like none of that, dude. He is locked in with this offense right now. Nuts.
Hooligan juice.
Like, he was wilding at SC. We all know he was. Homie was wilding.
The Coors Lights under the desk. Crack them all day.
That's lit. That's crazy. He was
dude
really
was
doing
tripping. But no, they in all that stuff aside, they look great. They really do. Shout out Lane Kiffin though, dude. They went toe for toe.
I was gonna say I wanted to shout out Lane.
3.5 quarters. They went toe for toe with them.
I was reading a Reddit feed that they want him to be like he's going to be the predecessor one day to Bill Belichick, and I was like,
But shout out that
Saban
and shout
assistants are 0-24 against Nick Saban. He has never let one of his young prodigies beat him. That's a fucking crazy stat.
Yeah, bro.
You think you could beat me? No, kid.
Not
you
happening.
can't snatch the pebble from my hand.
Nick knows you better than you know you.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Matt Corral. That's Ole Miss's quarterback, Long Beach Poly kid. So shout out Matt Corral for balling out there at Ole Miss.
Matt Corral's their quarterback?
Yeah. So shout out.
He went directly there?
He won the job. Last year, he kind of took over for like their run first.
But he went directly, no JC or nothing?
No, straight from Poly to Ole Miss.
Oh, that's badass.
How about that? Matt
Corral's the shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he kind of took over last year towards the end of the year for their like run first kind of quarterback, and really picked it up. No, the guy that he took over for was a runner. Corral's like a kind of like a pocket passer. He's athletic and young, but he's like a passing quarterback. He's got an arm. And so he took over for that guy last year, kept the job in the offseason this year, and has really looked well. He really went toe to toe with Mac Jones in offense over there at Bama for 3.5 quarters.
What's his size?
He's kind of smaller. He's like somewhere in between, like a little bigger than Kyler. He's taller. He's like thinner, but he's a little taller than Kyler. I don't know if Corral's going to be a guy we see on Sundays. I'm not sure he feels out that way, but he looks like a really good college quarterback. I mean, Made some
I know
big
that
throws.
kid who
really
went
big throws
to
in that game.
Clemson. I know he's not playing this year, but I want to see that kid.
Uyagalele.
Yeah.
He's next up because every time it's a blowout, he gets the snaps. So
He's massive. That's a big kid.
That's
It's
Cam
like the
2.0.
rebirth of Cam. Yeah, exactly.
He looks a little bigger than Cam, but that kid can sling it too.
He's huge. I've seen him like face to face.
Can he run though? Like, is he a runner? Or is
Yeah.
he's more of
Dude.
a thrower, right?
Bro, I'm gonna send you this highlight
He is Cam.
from the St. John Boston. No, he can run. Yeah, he's like a pocket passer, but he can run. So
Because I thought he was more like Big Ben, but he's running
bro,
like Cam.
he busted this kid's ass in high school when I play-by-played his game. This fool does read option, takes it, puts it. It's a safety, like a DB. Puts his foot in the ground and just shakes him, and like kid just goes flying. And like this is Trinity League. Like this kid's probably going D1 or something. Like it was not a weak defensive back. And I'm like 6'6"? Are you serious? Like what?
Damn.
So he's athletic. Yeah, I love Uyagalele. I can't wait to see him get in that Dabo Sweeney stuff.
Is
next year.
the kid from Modern Day? Is he? What the fuck's his name? The game you did. It was the other
Oh.
quarterback, I believe.
No, I didn't do Modern Day, but
Oh no, you did Survive.
he's the one that went to Bama. He's next up after Mac. He's going to be up
Yeah,
after
that's the
Mac.
dude I was talking about. That's what I thought was starting over there, over Mac.
Oh, no.
Mac didn't play that well.
Gosh, I
What's
can't
his
believe his
goddamn
name. I
name?
can't believe his name's. It's like Royce Young or something. What is it? Young?
It's a
No.
black kid, right? Isn't he black? He's black,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna find it right now. It's leaving me, but he was the one. It was Uyagalele and him were the guys kind of coming out, and they were going up against each other. And high school
USC's
and
got to
stuff.
be kicking themselves. They didn't even attempt
Man.
to get Uagalele.
Oh, he's so good. He's
Didn't they say they didn't even recruit him? He wanted
That's what I'm
to go there,
saying.
but they didn't
In
even
your
recruit him.
backyard, and you didn't even give it a fucking college try.
And he wanted to go there. That's crazy. What kid from LA doesn't want to go to? Well, you lose. But
Bryce
like, what
Young.
kid
I
playing
checked Royce
football
Young.
doesn't?
Bryce Young, that's his name. Gosh
Yeah.
damn it. But yeah, he's looking to be next up after Mac, and I think he'll be fine. Those matchups in high school were so good when those guys did it, and what they did at their schools were spectacular. Shout out SoCal QB products, baby. We just named 3 of them from all out here. Let's
Oh
go.
shit! I gotta do this too. Shout out to the Wubble. They had their championship already.
Oh, yeah,
Shout out
definitely.
to Brandon Stewart, the Seattle Storm, Sue Bird, all of them. They were
Legend.
balling out.
Big
Sue
legend.
Bird's
She got
crazy.
four.
She was out
She
there
got
having
4 of them things.
4 of them. And Sue Bird was out there with double-digit assists. She had 16 in one of those games, like out there. Brandon Stewart tore her Achilles, dude, a year ago. Comes back, wins the MVP. She's just.
She's on her way to being like a legend goat of the NBA,
Like-
WNBA too. Like,
If Maya Moore ever comes back, it would be fantastic to see them battle against each other because she's still very young, but I don't know if she's ever coming back. But Brianna Stewart is fantastic. So shout out to the Wubble. That's my fault for not covering that earlier. But shout out to Brianna Stewart, Sue Bird, Seattle Storm, all of them. And everybody in the Wubble and
Yep.
Bubble because it's over now too. So shout out to all the staff and everybody that was in the Bubble to make that shit happen and
Yeah.
entertain our loser selves. To be able
I was
to
about
watch
to say,
it.
for a few months, man, that was some really good months of entertainment, and they were. I mean,
No
essentially,
cases
you're,
either?
You're trapped. You're trapped in there. You know, you got to lock it down in there, and
No
it's not like-
cases. Adam Silver, 46? What? No.
Adam
you're
Silver
not
for
done.
46.
47 maybe? Yeah,
Oh
not done.
shit! Look. Oh man, am I gonna get it? Oh man, we had a Max sighting. I thought I was gonna get the cat on here, but she played me.
Cats are cats, man. She said, no.
She keeps
said,
like
"Love
teasing
me."
me now.
From afar.
She's sitting like just out of reach, and I kind of just keep wanting to reach for her, but I can't. Oh, yeah, I can't get her. Sorry. Anyways. All right. Well, are we ready, Terrence? Was that enough college football for you, Terrence? Are you sold on Mac Jones in Alabama?
No, because I told him that Georgia's going to be better.
Jake, whatever you do this weekend, if you hop back on Bovada, do not take Georgia with the 3.5.
I'm not
Slovis
touching college
It's an
football,
underrated
first off.
prospect that they need to think about in the NFL.
Oh yeah, yeah, we went through that last week too. I can't wait for Pac-12 football to get underway because I'm huge on Slovis, and I don't even like SC, but I just like the way he plays football. He's a good quarterback, and I firmly believe he's going to be on Sundays, 100%.
I really so too.
But yeah, so college football again. I think that's also going to kind of get deeper and better as more teams start playing. Justin Fields is about to take the field, all that stuff. So our college football talk will probably get a lot deeper. I guess everything's probably going to get a lot deeper with basketball going out the window for us. Always a bummer with that downtime. But as I mentioned, Conor McGregor, back in the octagon, baby. Is it weird that I feel like Poirier might hurt him?
Don't be surprised if Poirier does hurt him.
I just feel like I feel like Conor's kind of a lazy fighter now. And his last fight, it ended in 5 seconds because he shouldered Cerrone in the face and ruined it. Like,
That was some of the best shoulder bumps I've ever seen in my life, though. But
That was sick, but it's like I didn't get to see a lot of McGregor in that fight, you know?
shit, that's kind of a testament to him. But you don't want long fights. You want fights that are 10 seconds.
Right. I
Nobody's
just
like,
wanted to
"Oh,
see.
damn,
I wanted to kind of
knocked him out in
see
10 seconds.
what
Oh,
he
I'm
looked
so
like.
mad."
You know, I didn't really get to see what he looked like in that type of situation.
I'm excited for that fight in a sense because like McGregor's good for the sport, like how Tiger Woods is good for for golf. It's always going to bring buzz. It's always going to bring attention to the sport. I'm a big time UFC fan. So I do like having all the buzz and attention to it. I do think Poirier could win that fight and probably should win that fight. He's in a better shape. McGregor stepped away. But I'm more excited about Khabib and Gaethje at the end of the month. That's going to be some fireworks. Khabib is fighting after the passing of his father. He's definitely motivated for it. People keep asking him stupid-ass questions of like, well, what does this mean to lose your father? He's like, well, what would it have meant if you lost your father? Like, you fucking idiot. Of course I'm impacted by it. Like, stop asking me stupid questions.
Anyways, next.
But I believe Gaethje also, if Khabib wants to stand with Gaethje, which I don't see him doing, but he also, before we get off this, he stood with McGregor and rocked McGregor, and that shocked the hell out of McGregor and shocked the whole world. So I don't know why he wouldn't be able to stand with Gaethje and better do the same.
There's nothing in the octagon I don't believe Khabib can't do.
And worst case scenario, bear paw to the back of the neck, we're on the ground, and fight's over. So.
Really? I love Gaethje. I know we went over this when his last fight. I was like, and then his interview, I was like, man, this guy might be like one of my new favorite fighters. I absolutely love Gaethje. I can't wait for him to get this opportunity. I want him to shock the world. I will not be putting any money on Gaethje. I can promise you that. I want
to bet this fight in general. Yep.
But I hope he comes out and has a great fight. You know, I hope it's a great fight. I'm obviously expecting Khabib to handle and improve his legacy and his worth to the sport. I mean, he's phenomenal. But I got her, guys. I got one. We got a live one here. Let's go. Salem. Bree's here. She's playing around at my chair.
Anyway. Oh, we also have a good fight night coming up this Saturday, though. Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie.
How about that?
Well.
I wanted to ask you, Terrence, is there a better nickname than the Korean Zombie right now? I feel like that might be one of the best. That might be the best nickname I've ever seen.
When Terrence and I watched the Ricky Martin fight together, I forgot that guy's name, the Adesanya fight. They did an ad for that fight, and I looked at him. I said, "Is there even a better nickname in all of sports than fucking Korean Zombie, dude?"
Nickname.
No, it's amazing.
But this fight week, this Saturday, does have some good fights on it. It has Brian Ortega versus Korean Zombie, and then it's a good women's flyweight fight. You got Jessica Andrade versus Caitlin Shahudigan. Both of them have fought for the belt before, so that is a good fight.
Yeah.
But looking at UFC 254, just to tell the viewers we will be talking about this more, but it is a pretty good card, though. You got obviously Khabib versus Gaethje, but you also have in the co-main, whoever wins this fight most likely will get the chance to fight Adesanya. He already said if Cannonier wins this fight, Adesanya will fight him. So you got Whitaker versus Jared Cannonier, two good fighters, obviously. And then you got heavyweights who I've been filling to see. You got Walt Harris, who's coming back after his last fight. He was, I want to say he was on the main event, and it was after his daughter had passed, and he lost that fight, so I'm pretty sure he's coming back even more motivated to come win this fight. It's against Alexander Volkov, so two very known heavyweights. Mm-hmm. And then you got old school Mr. Never Age. You got Rafael Dos Anjos is on that card as well. He's fighting Islam. Not even gonna try it. And then we got the girls. We got a good girls fight too. You got Cynthia Calvillo versus Lauren Murphy. So these are gonna be some good fights. And let's just check the prelims. Hey, this is a good fight on the prelims, too. This might be the main prelim, too. Steven Struve, if you ever seen him, he's like the 7-foot heavyweight dude, big as shit.
Crazy, yeah.
Nothing but arms and legs. He's fighting Tia Tuivasa. I want to say he's like a Hawaiian fighter, Islander, Pacific Island fighter. So he throws bombs. So that should be a good fight as well in the prelims. But
yeah,
that's all I got.
Struve is always crazy to watch. Dude, he's crazy to watch. Like Gustafsson. Watching Gustafsson, I mean, it would be nuts. He's so big and long. It's like, how do you ever get inside or kind of control him?
October
it's fun.
31st, Halloween.
Spooky.
Anderson Silva fighting Uriah Hall. Are we kidding? 45 years old, Anderson Silva. Uriah Hall's a beast. Are you sure, Anderson?
Are you positive?
This is really happening? This is really happening.
A lot of good fights coming up, man. Gaethje, baby, come on, bro. You won't beat Khabib for me. Everyone knows I don't like Khabib. Respect him. I understand how great he is.
I
He did my boy
Gaethje
Conor
too.
dirty.
Right.
He completely broke his will. He made Conor nearly retire from the sport. I can't stand you, Khabib, dude. That was dirty. Can't believe you did my boy like that. So go Gaethje.
I am also rooting for Gaethje.
Silva is definitely taking this fight. So since that's crazy. But
Speaking of spooky season, somebody just had a creepy creak, and it was like. It
was really good timing. I heard it. It's really good timing. I don't.
That's
know
crazy
who that
though.
was. Must have been Terrence's.
But yeah, that's all I have for UFC.
Yeah, lots of good fights coming up. Well, damn. So we got through it. Are we through all of it? Is that it?
We're done.
Nailed it. Right in time for the Dodgers.
Nailed it. Right in time for the Dodgers. But before we do that, what's everyone been watching? I got 2 bangers this week. I'm stoked for this segment. What are you guys watching?
I'm excited for this weekend because the international break in soccer is coming to a halt.
Finally.
So we get Premier League this weekend. But a week from today, I believe it's a week from today, it's going to be weird. I think the game's at noon. I don't know how I'm going to do it with the episode. Chelsea Blues back in championship. Champions League.
Champion.
Champion. Champions League soccer is coming back, and Chelsea's got a good one off rip. So does Man U, mine and Zach's teams that we'd like to root for. Chelsea plays Sevilla. United's got PSG. Although it was tough to really find a group of death. The drawing was pretty even around the board, but you did get the toughest group for sure.
How hard was it to look when you saw Man U, PSG, and Leipzig? Like, that's the group of death I've ever seen it.
I have Leipzig's best player now. I have Timo Werner, so you know what I mean?
If you think Leipzig's still not really good, you're tripping.
They are good, but a real group of death.
Leipzig's so good.
Where you have 3 actual perennial teams. Leipzig is due for a bad year this year. They've kind of been playing above their grade because they have
due for a bad year.
Tell him, Terrence.
So just to let you know, Zach, you did luck out a little bit.
I do feel that with Timo not on there, but it's not. It doesn't look good.
I'm excited for that. Just finished up the boys season 2. Jesus fucking Christ! And I don't really mean to curse on the pod like that, but
sir, kids are listening to this.
Fucking wow! Whoever watches the boys and is listening to this right now, wow! I don't even know what the fuck's gonna happen. I probably gotta wait a whole nother year plus because of COVID to get season 3. But Jesus fucking Christ, that's all I can say to you. Watch that shit. My God.
Yeah, I think I am going to start the boys. I have been hearing all this hype. I do want to start it.
Can't believe you haven't.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the boys as well.
Terrence, you been watching anything, buddy?
I did have something, but not anymore.
This bankroll go up. Whoa. I'm fine.
No.
That's right. Oh. I thought you were saying no to the shows, but I guess we're saying no to the bankroll going up. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
First pitch of the game, I think this was first pitch of the game, just went up on Acuna, and it almost hit his hand, and it hit the knob of the bat right out of his hand.
Oh, so that's what y'all on, huh? Trying to hurt the homie. Trying to break his fingers, huh?
Brush back, baby.
So I have watched 2 really dope things. The first one I watched was that new, true crime thing on Netflix called American Murder: The Family Next Door.
Oh, good? Any good?
Really good.
That's probably gonna be fire.
Really fire. Wife and kids go missing in Colorado, and it's the whole case. We'll leave it at that.
Really hit his pinky too after it hit the bat. I'm so sorry, Zach.
It's good. It's a good little true crime.
Can't handle being down 1-0.
People are nutty.
By the way, that goes as a strike. By the way, so it's 0-1.
And so, the other thing I watched was the movie on HBO Max, if you have that, Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx, Just Mercy. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Michael B. Jordan plays Brian Stevenson, the true story of the lawyer that goes to Alabama and starts representing people who were misrepresented and are now on death row and trying to get like wrongful convictions.
That's a new movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a new movie. It's on HBO Max now, called Just Mercy. Absolutely freaking fantastic. Oh my God, what a good movie. So good. I highly recommend it. Like, I couldn't wait to come to the pod and tell you guys about it. Michael B. Jordan, as we all know I'm a big fan of, who isn't a fan of Jamie Foxx. The 2 of them just absolutely crushed this movie. Just really good. Given the climate in today's world, everyone should probably go watch this movie.
Well, Lakers are the champions. I got to go ice my back.
Stop saying it.
I still hate the Bears. Lions, you disappoint me. We're gonna beat the Jags though.
It's true. I'm throwing big money on Lions.
Maybe who knows, fans? You'll get to see if Jake's in a Lions hat or if I'm in some Jags gear.
Ooh.
But as always, this is the other team. Mamba forever. We out.